Let's see here. We've got aiding and abetting. Let's see, that's when you robbed Ranger Strong, right? Okay. Then we've got kidnapping of a peace officer, robbery of a peace officer, stalking of a peace officer, credible threats of death or injury. Then we've got bank robbery, participation in a shootout, that's a pretty common one, hostage taken, participation in a shootout, credible threats of death or violence, assault with a deadly weapon, participation in group violence, kidnapping, attempted murder in the first degree, kidnapping, criminal threats, robbery under 500, assault and battery, criminal threats, conspiracy, kidnapping of a peace officer, robbery of a peace officer, assault with a deadly weapon, kidnapping, false imprisonment, obstruction of justice, hostage taken, bank robbery, participation in a shootout, facilitating an escape from jail, hostage taken of a peace officer, kidnapping of a peace officer, robbery of a peace officer, assault with a deadly weapon, and animal cruelty.
I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I feel no evil because I'm blind to it all. In my mind, in my gun, they comfort me because I know I'll kill my enemies when they come. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell on this earth forevermore. Said I'll walk beside the still waters and they restore my soul, but I can't walk on the path of the right, 'cause I'm wrong. Well, I came upon a man at the top of a hill. He called himself the savior of the human race. Said he'd come to save the world from destruction and pain. I said, how can you save the world from itself? Cause I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I feel no evil, 'cause I'm blind. And I walk beside the still waters and they restore my soul, but I know when I die my soul is damned. Now I know when I die my soul is damned. Now I know when I die my soul is damned. Said the thief to the moon, I'll extinguish your light soon. I'll put an end to all the light that you shed on this world in its darkened state. Said the moon to the thief, you know light of what you seek. You're doomed the world to wander the night with no light to guide the paths that men seek. Oh, but all the wealth in the world will be mine without a means of defense for all those blind. My very existence is a race to attain wealth. For the thief's only loyalties in life is to the devil and himself. The earth will rise up and devour all that you are. The skies call for thunderous storms from afar. And when you're dead, there will be no grave to remember your name. For your greed brings your end, and there's no one but yourself to blame. Drinking and smoking is hopeless, but feel like it's all that I need. Something inside of me's broken. I hold on to anything that sets me free. I'm a lost cause. Baby, don't waste your time on me. I'm so damaged beyond repair. Life has shattered my hopes and my dreams. I'm a lost cause. Baby, don't waste your time on me. I'm so damaged beyond repair. Life has shattered my hopes and my dreams.
Still here in this bed that I crawled in. I hope that I'm someone else in the morning. So take this one, wash it down and you'll be fine. Walk around in the floating chalk outline. So it goes, let it be. In the gallows, balanced on my toes so I can breathe. But little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my, oh my, erase ourselves in these chalk outlines.
Sertraline and a sip of serotonin. Don't cry, 'cause there's a pill for everything. Take this one, wash it down and you'll be fine. The feeling goes and you draw a chalk outline.
So it goes, let it be. In the gallows, I'm balanced on my toes so I can breathe. But little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my, erase ourselves. It's such a perfect day, take it just in case, take it just in case. I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change, all things change. It's such a perfect day, it's a beautiful shade, it's a beautiful shade. I'm scared of But little by little, bit by bit, I'll push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my,
Out of my face. Raise ourselves in these chalk outlines.
Lately I'm drowning my pain with a bottle and Mary Jane. No matter what I take, I feel the same. I've been bound by these shackles and chains, a man of convictions. Damn, these addictions just can't be tamed. So lately I'm drowning my pain with a bottle and Mary Jane. Coming down a back road, a cloud of fat smoke rolling out my window. Even though I'm damaged, I'm standing on all 10 toes. Cause I'm lost, where I should go from here, I don't know. Eyes closed, but the pain on my face I won't show. A prisoner inside of my mind, I can't get out of here. I don't know why I ignore signs when they're so loud and clear. Lately I'm drowning my pain with a bottle and Mary Jane. No matter what I take, I feel the same. I've been bound by these shackles and chains, a man of convictions. Damn, these addictions just can't be tamed. So lately I'm drowning my pain with a bottle and Mary Jane. No one else to turn to, so I burn through another bag of pine. Courage is a virtue, it refers to this life of mine. I could drink a fifth of liquor and feel like I'm fine. I know, even then I'd never be satisfied. I could not pay the bills, pop a couple pills and just get by. Wouldn't change the pain I feel, seeing tears spill out my daughter's eyes. So I pop the top on this bottle and pour it on ice. When I'm wrong is the only time I feel right. Lately I'm drowning my pain with a bottle and Mary Jane. No matter what I take, I feel the same. I've been bound by these shackles and chains, a man of convictions. Damn, these addictions just can't be tamed. So lately I'm drowning my pain with a bottle and Mary Jane.
What's up, motherfuckers? Oh. So yesterday, what's up? Also, everybody. Yesterday was kind of fucking crazy. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna stream. There's probably not gonna be anyone around. Run into Scout. Figured he was just coming in and going to bed. We do have some telegrams to go through. But yeah, and then we had the huge talk with Danya. We may be getting Zoe here today. What else? We'll go over some of the footage while people still wake up. We're also gonna write a book called Past Broken. Not a book, but yesterday was the 7th, right? Okay. Indy, I'm pretty sure wants to join the Quil gang. Peaches and Wallaby both hit me up saying we need to talk. Daza said he woke up in Thieves and Everett told me that Wallaby and the Dead End Gang came through looking to speak to anyone from the Quil Gang, probably about Rocco. Since I was the only one around, I rode up to Van Horn to find out myself. Wallaby had already gone to bed, but one of them told me that they were looking to speak with Isaac, Danya, Barton. I'll find out more tomorrow. Jack wrote us. So I wrote Jack saying, I want to do a job the day I get out. I think you're going to want to be a part of it. He said, we'll be waiting for you upon your release. Had a talk with Teddy for you, sorted it all out. Won't say more in the message. I filled Isaac in. Day by day, you're being vindicated. So that was good to find out. And then Danya ended up in Sisika, and then Hannah broke up with us. Zip, I didn't see where you were and Abigail, or where you and Abigail went. I didn't see you on my way out either. Sorry I didn't say goodbye. I am not sure where this relationship is going between us now. There are layers of trust between us that have broken down for me, and these layers won't just heal overnight. When I was really struggling with my mother's death, someone once told me I need to help myself first before I moved on to have relationships with others. I didn't think I needed it back then, and that I just wanted the company of others. Since then, I've grown quite a bit, but perhaps not enough yet. Maybe I do need some alone time, or some time alone, and perhaps you need some time too. Which I kind of just wrote her back saying, you literally told a man in prison for 2,600 days that I need alone time. We'll go through my replies to everybody. It's all recorded. So we're gonna run away before Booker finds us and go over that footage of the scout conversation where we got a lot of meta unlocks on Scarlet, Dead End Gang, Murray, and Fiverr. Scout kind of filled us in on a bunch of shit last night. But yeah. We're gonna try to cause some chaos in here. I know Luna said that she may be getting on Danya. Usually if you can get 1 or 2, maybe 3 active people in Sisika, people will kind of know what's going on there and get some shit going. I want to start robbing people that are getting brought into Sisika. Or giving them cigarettes and having them do shit for us, like find us scissors and shit like that. Like I want to start orchestrating a prison gang. Yeah, whenever you're on, it'll probably be like an hour before I'm like back running around. Because we're going to skip through the footage a lot to get to a certain conversation. Because a lot of it was just downtime. But let's do that. Oh my god. Let's do that right now. Plenty of time to fish, yeah. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, OBS. Oh, no. I did, which...
Without a zip, I will...
Okay.
Be here, you're a criminal. Holy fuck.
I mean, I'm supposed to be here, just not as long as I'm here for.
You're
I'm here
not
for.
changed, inmate.
I just got here.
Are you gonna throw a fit about it?
Zip and Danya are.
Are you gonna cry about it, mate?
And Jonesy.
I just might, yeah.
Hey, yo, dude, thank you so much.
I'm
Holy
pissed
shit.
off. I'm pissed off. I'm gonna hurt someone. I'm gonna do it.
I appreciate it, man.
It's not personal, Dan.
No, it's not personal. I'm sorry for hitting you, Zip. I had 415 days. 400
Continue.
like 40 days at the start. And then I got some good behavior for turning myself in time. And then I was all supposed to get a charge off for assault with the deadly. He said he was going to look into it, but then a different deputy took over. And I don't think she understood that that was supposed to happen. And then I don't think I was supposed to.
This is
Zip,
just.
I will.
I did do a psych out.
And help them fix it.
Zip! Scout, how you son of a bitch!
Oh, I'm sorry, Zip. I'm sorry.
Worth it.
I did a really good psych out.
Zip, I'm sorry.
Did you kill him? If you killed him, I'm gonna have to add more time.
Okay, Zip, are you alright? I'm sorry. I deserve whatever you throw at me. I do, but I'm fucking livid.
Zip, come on.
Zip?
Oh, you fuck.
Zip?
You fuck. Hold on, back up.
I can't hold my breath that long to fake this.
You son of a bitch. I almost had to salp you.
Let me see who's on duty.
So that happened.
I did.
We
Wipe
couldn't
my
talk
ass with
It's mainly
a lot with
a wagon came.
Booker
the-
around. It wasn't until the cafeteria.
Yeah, because
Oh, Booker kind of confirmed Big L's dying.
It was confusing. Oh no, they came here.
This is what I sent to Jack. I get out the 17th. I've been studying my map. There's a certain job I want to do with you. So this job is, what we're going to do is the bridge closest to Thieves Landing. We're going to get 2 oil tankers and park them in the water on either side of the bridge. And when we go into Thieves, we're going to shoot the oil tankers, but we're going to keep going past Thieves Landing and have another oil wagon
She
set
is
up.
in the
She's dead.
cells.
So it'll be 4 oil tankers.
You know what? For my sake, I'm gonna say she's not dead, and she's in the cells. I'm sorry, Zip. She's checking the tip line in the cells, I believe.
Which building is that? Is
Uh,
that the one
the
by
one-
the yellows?
Yes.
Are you like a Hooper wannabe?
Nope.
He looks just like Cooper, right? Am I losing it here?
He does look like Cooper.
How did Wallaby?
He did.
How did Wallaby take the Rocco news?
One second.
So
Was
that's pretty much
no.
it. We bullshit with this deputy. Zip does zip things to
I
him.
strangled her with the.
Well, I think I'm gonna. This is what I've heard.
Nothing.
The crossings with trying to go sell.
You know we have food there, right?
Don't ever say zippy butt again.
I said bumps.
I definitely heard that slip up.
Shut up.
We got a new nickname.
Who the fuck is Revenant Wright? Is that Rev? Like the Revenant that used to be a criminal?
I think so.
Oh my god, I'm gonna kill that bitch.
Why? Why?
Were you there in Van Horn when I got shot?
By law?
Yeah.
No, but I heard about it.
Okay, what did you hear about it?
That law showed up
This is when Zip
in
finds the
Van Horn
article.
and then shot you down in town.
Like immediately, or did you just hear that?
I just heard that you got shot down.
Okay.
Nobody really told me what happened, to be honest.
So they showed up, right? Said a few words to me and fanned me down. And then mid gunfight, grabbed my body and took me out of Van Horn. Leaving Mills and everybody else in. You know what the fucking paper says that happened? At their lengthy standoff in Van Horn, Zip Quil was sunk by deputies after a volley of bullets back and forth. I didn't even fire my gun. I didn't even get my gun in my hand. Zip had been on a rampage throughout the night, targeting deputies like a ship without its pilot to steer. After many warnings by law, Zip's aspirations were sent to the bottom of the Lanahatchee River. Is that the name of the thing outside Van Horn?
Lanahatchee.
Lanahatchee. The foghorn of Van Horn will be ringing in fond memory of the night Zip Quil was taken down. We wish him a speedy recovery in sisika. Go fuck yourself, Revenant, right?
Zip ain't too happy about that.
Damn.
You'll hear later what
Fucking
Zip
shootout.
wants to do to Revenant, and it's fucking gnarly.
Yeah,
I was talking to
lightly
Ferrets about it.
Zip Quil.
If that shootout was lengthy, then Andy needs to be happier, because... Well, I won't finish the sentence.
Did you just diss yourself? I don't even have to do this anymore.
You're gonna put her out of a job.
Well, it took me a while to understand what Quickie Zippy means.
But no.
Its own food, why can't me?
I don't know
I
what
watched-
I did to deserve this one. I think she knocked. We need to add like
I
5
watched
to
your
the
mom get
Booker
shot
knockout.
at by one of.
Wow, that's a big mistake.
That he didn't do it, or that he would do it?
That he hasn't done it yet. That's a shame.
Yeah, well, you're here. Assistant.
Yeah, I'm not the warden yet.
You're junior warden.
Yeah.
Well,
Not the warden though.
I guess luckily
Junior
for
Warden
her, I
Booker.
think it'll be soon.
Zip, you just
Right.
you just ask for it. You ask for it.
No.
Zip, I can't help you if you can't.
So
help yourself.
essentially,
I'm gonna fight back.
No.
Zip like
See why-
said that he heard a rumor. I don't want to keep
What I-
digging through what we just watched,
do
but
The
Zip
crossing's
said he
trying-
heard
he's-
a rumor that Big L was dying. The way Booker reacted, kinda.
And it makes sense why she's becoming.
He was saying he'd take a charge off, and all was saying.
He can help you out.
The way Booker reacted, kinda like, oh shit, you might be right.
Blueberry to the point where he had to run, and only Booker could save the guard. Blueberry.
Sometimes. Not with the inmates, of course. I don't like the inmates.
Because apparently Jack told Vern,
But
Vern
Scout
told
might have
Hannah, Hannah
gone.
told Zip
Snuck
that
into a book club one
Big
time.
L was dying of tuberculosis.
Is that what goes on in that building?
Which building?
That one.
In the warden's office.
Yeah, I heard he's dying.
Shut your mouth.
Oh shit.
Where'd you hear that from, Zip?
Is it true?
You gonna laugh at me right now? Really?
So it is true. Don't shoot me, okay? I honestly thought it was a rumor. That's why I laughed.
Where did the rumor start?
I'm not telling you that. I don't give names.
You don't give names.
What
If I
happens
beat
to
the
this
names
person?
after you.
It's not a fucking crime, right? Would it be snitching, Scout, if I said who told me? I feel like it. It's words, right? That's not a crime. I
don't know,
feel
make a decision.
comfortable telling you.
Why?
Can I tell you a link of the tree? Because this person heard it from that person who heard it from
I
that
pretty much says Gavin Summers told us.
10.
person.
He's trying.
And then she started listing names, and Zip looked away when she said Jack Kettleman to kind of give her a hint.
Wish him a speed.
No, I do not. I've
This
just
is
seen
Barton
him-
right now, chat.
I've seen him every day. Today,
So,
till this point.
oh, actually, it starts right here. Oh, we got Mills.
No. To also get out
Actually-
in 2 days.
I turned myself in.
To also get out in. No, I do not. I've just seen him. I've seen him every day, today and yesterday since he got out, but I don't really know what he's up to a whole lot. Daza is, I think, is his name.
Yeah, he's out too.
Came by as well. Saw him today.
I told him to check in on Van Horn, but start to move our shit out west, because I know that Eddie just needed our help with that bank job.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever get paid for that, by the way?
No.
Okay, so that'll have to be sorted.
I don't know. They left Van Horn and I guess went and took it easy somewhere.
What about you, Scout? So Zip asked if they've seen Mills
what about me
and Alice.
in terms of Mills and Alice?
Yeah, because Mills was there. He helped with the shootout in Van Horn.
Yeah, I saw him yesterday for about 20 seconds, and that was it. I didn't see him, you know. I showed up the day after that all happened to you guys, and I never saw Mills up until yesterday, so I don't know. I don't know what he's doing, frankly. I know you like him and whatnot, but frankly, I don't care what he's up to anymore.
I know a lot of people are pissed because he went back out west. After
Oh,
Wallaby got
extremely.
locked up.
Extremely. There's people that fucking counted on him, and he left them high and dry, man. People were counting on him. It is what it is. I learned my lesson. You know, when I first came to the crossing, I was out exploring up north by myself, because I didn't have any friends, really. I mean, I had a few friends, but I ran into this group, and it happened to be the Kettlemans, which I didn't know at the time, because like I said, I was new around here. And it was Jack and Pip and Mills and Jed and all these people. And they thought that I was a spy, spying on them for some reason, because I happened to run into them in the middle of fucking nowhere, because I was running away from wolves that were chasing me and just ran in a direction, and unfortunately ran into them. Long story short, Jack ended up stabbing me, because he thought I was some sort of fucking spy or whatever. Which, you know, at this point I get the paranoia and whatnot. I can understand that, being how Van Horn has been and whatnot. People ratting to the law and all these different things. I get it. I really do at this point. I feel like I've learned to understand why he did it. Doesn't mean I like it, but I understand why he did it. But my point is, Mills, that day, was the only one fighting for me. He had no clue who I was, and after that whole incident, he was the only one out of the Kettleman group that I respected. And you know, I feel like that's one of the only reasons, it's one of the few reasons rather, that I followed him in Van Horn. It's because I respected him and what he did for me way back. He probably doesn't even remember that or know that was me. But I carried that respect all the way up until this point. And, you know, Wallaby trusted him, so I trusted Wallaby. And my respect I had for him as well. And he kind of took that and threw it to the wayside with what he did. Like I said, I know he's your friend or whatever he is to you guys and whatnot. And I don't mean to badmouth him, but this is just my experience with him. And after what happened with Van Horn, I can't say I'm too big a fan of him.
Do you think he did it for Van Horn or Wallaby going there?
Well, given we were supposed to do a job, and we did the job, and Mills was a part of the job, and I didn't see him at any point in time at the job. Alice went down, we were in a shootout with Law. I met up with Wallaby, who was with Mills, but Mills was nowhere to be seen. And Mills went back to Van Horn, told everybody that Van Horn is no more, and then packed everything up,
Zip in a
stole
weird
all of our
spot.
fucking supplies, and went out west with them. So I think he was there for Wallaby. If he gave up the second he knew Wallaby was taken away.
He left Alice behind?
I never saw him once. I don't know what he did. I guess you could say that that is me assuming. I don't know what happened to him that day. But I can tell you for a fact I saw Alice, I saw Alvin, I saw Eddie, I saw myself, and I saw Wallaby all get in this gunfight. You know, we had a lot down. I believe Alvin and Eddie went down pretty much immediately. They couldn't even get in the fight. I met up with Wallaby. We stuck around, rode all over the place, trying to find any of our people, trying to fight the law off so we could get our people, and Mills was nowhere to be found. By the time I got back to the cells, Alice was in there.
I'm pretty sure Scout mentions it, but like instead of Mills saying like he's gonna like rest or whatever, or like whatever it was, I guess he like told them like Van Horn is dead. Just give up on Van Horn or something, and then went out west. And that's the issue. It wasn't that just Mills went and like, because everyone knows like it's hard to it's really hard to kind of justify leaving, right? Especially if you're like going to play a different server or a different game for like a few weeks. Like it's hard for story, especially something like that. But Mills straight up told them that like Van Horn is dead, and then went over to Ignite. So that's enough IC reason, because it puts people in a weird spot. Like if someone out of the Quil gang like had to leave for a month to go do whatever, right? Like Zip isn't going to use any of that information. But if they're like, I'm done with the gang, or if they say something like, I'm like, everything went to shit, I need to get away, something. It's like the worst possible way to bench your character is saying like what everyone's been building just because the main person went to prison. So I could see why the Dead End Gang is using that as a catalyst to spark up some shit with Mills. Because obviously everyone knows Kason's went to go play Ignite. But it's kind of the way that he left. Because the other possible way is getting locked up. You don't have to turn yourself in. You could just be sloppy. Get arrested, bench your character that way. Or say you're going to hold down Van Horn and don't leave. But Mills straight up just said, like, fuck Van Horn, we're going back out west. So that's why I think that's why they're totally justified by bringing that IC and the doing shit with it.
And I don't know exactly what happened to her. I mean, I saw her getting chased by Law, so I was shooting at the Law, chasing her, hoping they'd come for me.
Right, exactly, Falcor.
And I never saw Mills even once. Like I said, that's, I guess, me making assumptions.
He
I don't
left
know
a
what
horrible
actually
way.
happened with him, but I never saw him in that fight. And we needed him. We fucking needed him.
And then there's this meta unlock as well that, like, Zip didn't know about that bank job. He just knew that Mills got away.
It was when everyone was facing crazy times, right?
Yeah.
The time Alice got put in here.
Insane
for however
times.
many days
Yeah,
she was in here.
exactly. Yeah. Alice was with us, man. Alice was with us. And I know she's only, there for Mills. I'm assuming. I don't think she really cares about Van Horn, to be honest. And maybe, again, that's me assuming. I don't know. But
Alice is someone that, if someone relies on her to do something, not just Mills, if she's there to help Van Horn, she is there for Van Horn. She doesn't waver like that. I could see Mills only being there for Wallaby. Truth is, the only reason why I accepted that job from Eddie was because we don't have coals in Gaptooth. You guys are right next to the largest coal mine in the crossing.
yeah.
I saw it as a way to benefit the West. I have no loyalties for Van Horn. But Alice Alice has loyalties to whatever she is fighting for, and at that time it was Van Horn.
Yeah. Alice, you know, she was with us. She got shot. We got chased by Law one day. 6 Law.
I didn't.
And we
I
crossed the
almost
bridge.
didn't get this scene because Scout. There was like a problem with the paperwork, so Scout was looking at OOC days, and he turned himself in to avoid OOC days because he told Zip that like the rest of the gang are not wanted, so he feels like bad, right, for bringing the law down and having them like interrupt their shit. So he turned himself in, but then like there was like a shift change type shit happening, and his paperwork got fucked up, so he ended up getting OOC days, but then they sent in a lawman to come and fix it, so he ended up getting like 300 and something days. So because of that, I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why he stuck out the RP, and we got 2 hours of Scout last night. And the rest of this video is literally just full-on meta unlocks, from Mills to Murray to shooting Jesse Gold or Richie Gold to Murray and the poisoning with the seer, and that there's 2 seers, and Zip just got a fuck ton of
by the
meta.
slaughterhouse, and she had got shot down right in the center of the bridge. And Wallaby ran to the center of the bridge while they were all on the other side shooting at us, and we're shooting at them, trying to provide covering fire for Wallaby to get her out of there. You know, we were in this together. Like, all of us were putting in the work. So, frankly, at least for me, Alice did what she was gonna do. She went down as a part of that job. She was helping. She did what she did. But like I said, I don't know where Mills was for all of it, man. You know, he said Van Horn is done for, packed up the supplies and left.
That's why when I got there was no ammo, no nothing. He says packed up the supplies, but later he says stole the supplies. And then he disappeared.
He said that they were gonna go after Law or something like that the next day, but then he just disappeared. Which, you know, frankly, between you and me, I get it when, you know, people have things going on outside of all this and whatnot, but to say that Van Horn is done for just because Wallaby goes down, and then to go out west and say you're going to do these plans and do all these things and then disappear without even letting anybody know what's going on, that's fucked up. But I guess it's a learning experience. I know who I can't trust anymore.
The thing with me, I always have the backs of the people from the Kettleman gang. Scout, they did more for me than anyone else on the crossing. Even Jack's out there right now handling something for me, and I didn't even have to ask him to. I honestly don't know how he found out about it, but I just received. I really want to know Jack's motive behind the Teddy situation. Everyone, when I got, because I have no idea how Jack found out about that. A pawn for Kettleman.
Yeah, following him blindly, as they say.
And truth be told, there was a time where I started believing it. But then after the situation with you and Two Snakes and Frank on the bridge, when I woke up from that coma, and I'm sorry if you were there, but Jack had told me that they went and hunted you guys down outside Valentine, and that they got their blood for blood.
Yeah, I was there.
That every single Kettleman had my undying loyalty till the day that I die. Mills is one of them. But the mill, and I'm not saying but is in, that's no longer the case because it still is, but what I knew Mills of, I didn't know him as someone that would do something like that, and that's concerning.
Yeah, you know, man, I don't say this to make you feel any way about Mills or any of the Kettlemans or anything like that. I'm just saying my personal experience with him and why I'm upset with him. I don't expect you to change your opinions based on what happened to me by any means. I'm just,
yeah, I know.
you know, sharing my feelings on it, basically. I remember that day very vividly. You know who was there on our side of things, helping us? Was Marietta.
I've been wanting to kill that motherfucker for so long. You know what
Yeah.
this fucking piece of shit did?
Huh.
Did you hear about my little
Richie Gold?
situation? What?
Richie Gold?
What about Richie Gold?
Marietta shot him in the tub in Van Horn.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
How the fuck has Mills and Alice not killed him for that? Doesn't Richie ride with Mills?
Yeah. Yeah, they went looking for him, or we all went looking for him, because this is when, you know, Mills and Alice were part of Van Horn and doing all that.
I'll be right back, chat.
Fiverr had gotten hurt, so Murray came into town and was saying that he was going to help Fiverr and whatnot, but they wanted, you know, they didn't want him near here. And then one day we were getting ready to leave town. Richie was in his bath doing his thing, and we saw somebody up on the hill. It was like a few days after the Fiverr incident happened. We saw somebody up on the hill hiding in a bush, so we went over there to see who it was, and it was Murray. We were like, what the fuck are you doing hiding in a bush? And he said he was just there to check on Fiverr, because Fiverr was still not in a great state.
The fuck is he doing, stalking her?
I don't know. I think it was a ploy, personally, but I can't tell you. So basically, Alice said, I don't want to see you around here again. Fuck off. Fiverr is fine. And then we left because we went, I forgot what we were doing, but we went out to Blackwater for something. Or maybe we were going over a bank plan or something. I don't fucking know. But then we went back to Emerald Station after doing all that, and we saw Murr there. And then a train was coming by, and Murr suggested that we shouldn't rob the train. And I thought that was really odd that he said that. It's like, why the fuck would he say that? And it didn't make sense at the time, but then when we got back to Van Horn, Alice went to go take a bath, and Richie Gold was slumped over in the bath, been shot while taking his bath by Murr. Murr left his hat there, so everyone could know that it was him who did it. And it made sense why he suggested not to rob the train. I think he was suggesting we should go back to Van Horn to see what he had done. I think I'm the only one who understood that after it all, to be honest. But, yeah, he had shot. For what reason, I couldn't tell you. I guess they had a past of some sort, but...
No, it's probably to get at fucking Mills.
Maybe, but he was shot in the tub, and... They've been looking for him ever since, as far as I'm aware.
If he's still pulling this shit, following Fiverr...
Yeah, apparently he, Did you hear about the seer in Fiverr?
No. I heard she got
let's go sit down.
recently.
Let's go sit down and talk about this. How
Martin,
about
do you
that?
have smokes?
Yeah, you want one?
Oh my god, yes, please. We'll do it when we sit down.
Alright.
We go in the chow hall.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do wherever. Better than sitting out in the rain.
I'm so glad I don't have to clean Wallaby's cell anymore.
You had to clean his cell?
Booker made me fucking clean his solitary cell every day.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so...
So like his piss and shit?
Yeah, so they were really...
Gross.
Everything was really stinky.
Of course.
So I did what any sane person would do, and I took all the shit out, like all the chairs and all the stuff out to let the rain get it and air it out and stuff. And Booker had the audacity to get mad at me for taking all the furniture out, and then Wallaby was pissed off because he had to sleep on the floor, and then I had to go grab my bed. Little did they know that my bed was out in the rain too, because that's how I clean things. It's a shower for your objects.
Yeah, I guess so. That makes sense. You know, I have to admit, I'm real glad I'm not addicted to these cigarettes. I tend to only smoke them when I'm extremely stressed out.
So I paid $500 the other day for a cigarette.
Holy shit.
Well, $500 I got from robbing the person with the harmonica, but go on.
Okay, so putting that aside, the Myrrh story, it does coincide with what happened with the seer and whatnot. So I'll tell the seer story now that you know what happened with Myrrh. So, a few days ago, Fiverr had
I'm
a
back.
headache, and she was in Van Horn. And you know Scott?
Yeah.
Scott's dead, by the way.
What?
So Scott, he died yesterday.
How?
It's a whole thing, but
Do you know who did it?
yes, and that's besides the point. And we'll get to that.
Okay.
So Fiverr had a headache, and Scott recommended, not with like any intention, as far as anyone knows. He just said maybe the seer has some sort of something that might help your head, right? And so Fiverr said, okay.
Yeah, I
and
got a
went to talk
fuck
to the
ton of
seer about her
Meta
headache.
Scout.
And so the seer said, yeah, I can get you, a little tonic that'll make you feel better. It'll just take a few minutes. So a few minutes go by, seer gets everything ready and makes this tonic for Fiverr. But in the process, well, let me not say that. So Fiverr gets the tonic from the seer and drinks it and starts feeling really bad from this tonic. Like, it's supposed to help her out, but she feels fucking awful from it, right? And so she drinks it, she feels awful, and it's not getting any better, and she's getting worse. And I saw her, and Dakota saw her, and she was like, yeah, I'm not feeling so well after I took, a drink from the seer's tonic that she gave me. And we were like, oh, that's strange. I wonder what's up with that. And we didn't think anything of it, because she seemed, all right. And then a little while later, I noticed that she's gone. She's not in Van Horn. And then a few hours later, I hear that from somebody just randomly in Strawberry that Fiverr is dying in Blackwater. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? And Alice comes through Van Horn looking for the seer. Vern comes through Van Horn looking for the seer. Everett comes through Van Horn looking for the seer, all at different times. They're all pissed off. They're not really explaining what's going on. So we're like, what the fuck is happening? And I meet up with Vern, and Vern is talking about how he wants to hurt the seer, and she's gonna fucking pay for what she did, and all these different things. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And apparently the seer had poisoned Fiverr. The tonic that she gave her was poison.
On purpose?
Well, that's the thing. A little while later, the seer had come by while we were up on the balcony. This is shortly after we noticed Fiverr was missing, and she said, I gave Fiverr the wrong fucking bottle. I was not supposed to give her the bottle that I gave her, and she drank the wrong thing. And she gave Harry the correct bottle that she was supposed to give Fiverr, and then Harry gave that to Alice. So basically, everyone's pissed off at the seer, and then while they're in the medical office in Blackwater, and Fiverr's getting questioned, apparently Cass, you know Cass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently Cass mentioned that the seer had been, or that it was the seer that did this to Fiverr. For whatever reason, he told Law, who was asking, that it was the seer that did it. I don't know the whole story behind that. I'm not gonna pretend like I know if he told Law or anything. You'll have to ask Fiverr and them about that. Because I don't know the context to what happened, but they sounded upset.
Cass told Law.
They sounded upset that Cass had told whoever he told. I like I said, I don't know the context to that or who exactly he told, but I know they told somebody.
Someone in Van Horn.
And it made
the one that was
Law
going to lobotomize Dakota.
question exactly who it was. He said to whoever that he said to, I don't remember,
We've met her once or twice.
I don't know the context, like I said. He said that the seer, or it was the seer who did this. And so everyone was like, what the fuck is the seer? Which is why everyone ended up being pissed off at the seer and looking for her. And apparently the seer, who the deputies had explained her complexion and what she looked like and her description and all these different things to Fiverr without Fiverr having ever said a word to them about what she looks like. So it matched the description of what was being said. So everyone thought that, it was the seer who did this, because it was. But then the deputies had mentioned how doctors were afraid of this seer because the seer had been apparently kidnapping doctors and deputies alike and forcefully feeding them tonics that are poison, trying to kill them. And this has been happening a lot recently. And we had no fucking idea what they were talking about. This is new news to us. And we were like, what the fuck is happening? Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
So far.
Okay. So we're trying to figure out what's happening. They hear this news of this description of the seer purposely poisoning people and trying to gain the trust of those around him. Apparently some deputy told Fiverr that the seer purposely tried, the seer gets in close with people, gets them to trust the seer so the seer can poison them. And so obviously this is when Alice and Vern and everybody is really pissed off and they're looking for the seer. But after some digging, just yesterday, I believe it was, it is found out that there is another seer, not the Van Horn seer, but another seer who is going around. They call themselves the seer, and they're poisoning people, like trying to lure them in and gain their trust and poisoning doctors and stuff like that. So it is a completely different seer, but because Cass had said that it was the seer, everyone assumed that he was talking about the seer in Van Horn and not this other seer that existed out there somewhere. And again, I do not know the context to Cass's what he said or who he said it to. You'll have to ask Fiverr.
Does anyone know if the seer, is it a male or a female, or do they know anything about him?
I have no idea, to be honest. I would imagine that it is a female that looks like the seer in Van Horn, because according to the deputies, when mentioned the seer, they gave the seer of Van Horn's almost identical description. And so it's possible that, I don't know if they're pretending to be
so
the
confusing,
seer, or
dude.
if it just so happens to be they look alike, or any of that information. I have no clue. But I would assume that it is a female. But yeah, continuing, the deputies said all these things and all these things happened. So Vern and Fiverr and everybody's pissed off at the seer in Van Horn. They come by, they're looking for the seer, they want to talk to her, they're threatening her, understandably so, because she quite literally poisoned Fiverr before they found out that it was a different seer just yesterday. But it is learned, as I said yesterday, that there's a different seer. And that brings us to, well, basically what happened with the seer is she gave the wrong thing to Fiverr. She meant to give her a different bottle, accidentally gave her the wrong bottle, which is the seer's fuck up. She even said, I fucked up, I have nothing to hide. I'll talk to these people. If they're upset at me, I'll talk to them. I'll speak with them. If they hurt me, so be it. This is my mistake. She's owning up to it 100%. She did not intend to harm Fiverr or anything like that. However, this is where Murr comes in. Apparently, Murr had heard about this seer in Van Horn poisoning Fiverr, doesn't realize that it was an accident, and so Alice wants to use this to set up a trap for Murr, which I feel like I should state this needs to stay between just us, and I know that you're close with Alice, so hopefully this will stay on the down low so the plan doesn't get out.
No, I ain't telling anybody.
Alice apparently Murr is like still obsessed with Fiverr or whatever for some reason and wants revenge for Fiverr. So he wants to kill the seer of Van Horn. So Alice wants to use the seer as a way to trap Murr and finally get her hands on him. And that is the story, and here we are. I know it's a lot to take in. But this all happened over the past few days or so.
Jesus fucking Christ, that fucking psychopath.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I have been begging Fiverr to fucking excommunicate from him ever since I found out how they got together.
Yeah.
You know about that, right?
I don't know how they got together. Wait.
He poisoned her.
Yes, okay, I do remember that very vaguely. I think they told me the story.
Apparently he poisoned her, felt bad about it, and they got together.
Yeah, and got to know each other, and that's, yeah. And then Mills and Alice didn't like Murr at all, and Fiverr, and they were supposed to be married, and there was a whole bunch of shit.
So, when I was... I wouldn't call it a fucking war, but when me and the bastards were out for each other, it wasn't even the bastards, I was out for CD, and CD and Rebecca were out for me. Murray was, I'm pretty sure, a bastard at this time. Jabas was in Guarma this entire time with the roar. Right, so Jabas reaches out, and so does CD. I had Rebecca's gun. I was gonna return the gun in the fucking scuffle, whatever the fuck it was, and just get over it. Because I was done. And I was trying to protect Andy. I rode it in Thieves Landing one day, and I told CD, I'm gonna come to Thieves Landing and we'll talk. But I'm not bringing the gun during the first meeting because I want to agree on terms and I don't want to fucking go there, get robbed, and the cycle continue.
Right.
So I went into Thieves Landing by myself. Murray's at the fucking other side of the bridge. I ride in. He has attitude immediately. I barely knew this fucker. And he pulls me off my horse, asking where the gun is. CD's like walking up, but he's still out of like voice range. And I'm fucking telling Murray, like, I didn't bring the gun. I told CD I wasn't bringing the gun. He's well aware of me coming here without the gun. And all this shit. So he decides to start punching me. And there's Everett around and everybody. By this time, CD's gotten to us, but he wasn't going to stop Murray. And I told Murray, like, if you hit me one more time, I'm going to punch you back. So I punched him back, and he pulls a fucking gun out on me. And that is the most fucking coward shit I've ever seen in my life. See, people out west, if you're going to do a fucking fist fight, expect to get fucking punched back. There's not a fucking single person out there that's just going to let you beat the shit out of them. No one else had guns out. Even CD told him to stop. He's a little fucking coward. Second, I raise a fucking fist to him. I came there unarmed to show them that I'm not there for fucking trouble. They thought it was an ambush. I told them it wasn't. I legit almost left Thieves Landing and threw that fucking gun in a river. But I don't know. I never liked this motherfucker. Even when I was on good terms with the bastards, I never liked them.
Yeah, you know, he's changed a lot. I pretty much grew up with him in Valentine. I not grew up, but when I was first in the crossing for a very long time, we were good friends. We hung around Valentine. That's where we lived. He was a lot different then. I mean, honestly, in my personal, you might have been dealing with that shit, but even recently, he was still my friend. We were still on, great terms. We were, good friends. At the very least, we got along and all these different things, but I think that changed recently when this whole thing in Van Horn happened with him.
Who shoots someone in a fucking bathtub? Would you ever do that, Scout?
Frankly, there was a time where
Zip met Forrest and Valentine.
if I had Jack Kettleman in that bathtub
Around the
and I was
time
in the
that
same position as him
Scout
way back
was talking
when,
about it.
I would have done it.
Like either right
But
after Zip joined the
nowadays-
Kettlemans or before he joined the Kettlemans.
Nah, probably not. I'd probably at least let the man get the fuck out of the tub. Have some decency, you know?
When he was doing shit at the
I
bathhouse.
do, yeah. People say a lot of things about me, but that's the one thing I don't do. If I want to hurt somebody, I'm making sure they have a chance.
Yeah. I don't know. I never would have expected it, especially in Van Horn, man.
If you're asking Chuck, yeah, we're
For
talking about
years.
Forrest
I
the Fish.
remember when me and Morgan were at ends. I wanted so badly. Town was empty and it was just him and another person sitting at a black.
A lot of people did, dude. A lot of people from joining the Bastard. Ronnie was a completely different character.
And sit outside the saloon the second he walked out, gun him down, but I didn't want to bring that shit to Van Horn. I don't even really. I know a little bit about what you guys are doing there, and I know what you want to build there, and I respect it because I want to build. I want to build the West Step, but I don't want it to just be outlaws. I want civilians there.
Yeah, well, I think that's the kind of the idea Wallaby has, right? Is we want it to be a place that is safe. People, whether you're civilian or whatever, you come fucking enjoy yourself.
But you adapt.
So long
I
as
mean,
you're not
Zip
a
was
fucking
completely
rat.
different before the Kettlemans.
Exactly.
If you want to be a civilian and you want to hang out there, as long as you're not a fucking rat, you're more than welcome to be there.
Because they're civilians
And-
that hate the law. They just
Yeah,
don't also
exactly.
do crime, just like Harry.
Exactly. And Van Horn is built so people can enjoy that place and know that it's safe. However, I do think it's a very fine line of, people using it as a safe zone, so to speak, from law. And I think the more people that do that, the harder it becomes to keep that place safe, if that makes sense.
Oh, it 100% is, because now law, if people start doing that, law will be there every day.
Right. So the idea is, if you're wanted, by all means, go there. But the idea is,
If you're
don't
being
bring law there
chased, don't bring
directly.
it. Right, it's the
Right.
same reason why we had Violet.
Right,
Had that little
exactly.
talk.
And so that's kind of the idea, and
It's
a
like
lot of
doing a
people
bank job
don't
and
get
running
that.
straight there knowing that they'll be protected.
Right. And a lot of people, are... Well, actually, I should do this. Well, I don't know if I should tell you this. I mean, there's nothing wrong with telling you. I don't know if you care or not. I'll tell you anyways. Just yesterday, no, the day before yesterday, 6 Law came trotting through Van Horn. They just rode on through, looked around, didn't stop. And I noticed Dan Lin was one of them. And I said, Dan, what the fuck was that? You said you respect Van Horn, and then the next day you're doing this shit? If you say that you don't want bloodshed and all this shit, but you keep pulling this shit. And he said, well, we were looking for bank robbers, and it seems as of late people run to Van Horn directly after doing a crime, and so we figured we'd come through, and we're going to do that. And so,
Who
they're
the fuck
being...
does that? Is that still the Violet situation?
I have no clue who they were looking for, because they never came through the town. Nobody ever showed up. I was in Van Horn all day long. No groups came through Van Horn, anything like that. We had, you know, 1 or 2 people come
Who does
here
he
and
think
there,
is
but
fleeing there after doing crimes?
well, here's the thing. I think that they just assume everybody does, and they don't actually fucking know. And I told him, you know what? If that's how you want to think, then so be it. What happens next is on you. And that's where we stand. And there was quite a few deputies that I know that went through there. And I know soon enough it is going to be a fucking shit show for them. They are absolutely happy and joyous to walk through that town when they know that we're weak and they know that there's 2 or 3 of us that exist in town because the rest are in fucking Sisika or locked up or whatever it may be. But I'm telling you, the hell that they're gonna fucking experience for their actions.
Well, people
happened
can't
to
give
do it
up.
yesterday.
Like, law's gonna come through the second you
But
make it a
tomorrow
hub.
they
That's
won't be.
But
be
people
very
get
regretful that
demotivated
they
that
did
laws
that.
show up all the time.
That's my thoughts on it anyway.
But you gotta fight through it and just expect law to show up to any hub that's happening.
I do need to talk to someone from Van Horn. I'll tell you. When I get out of here, I plan on taking Pruitt.
That's funny. I kidnapped Zoe Winters shortly after, I think it was the day after you got locked up. And was telling her I'm going to slit Pruitt's throat for what he did in Van Horn. And then I end up in Blackwater about half an hour later, and I notice Zoe's there, so I'm like, oh, I bet she went and fucking talked to Pruitt. So I'm hiding in a bush outside of the sheriff's office, and I see Pruitt. And everywhere he goes, he's followed by 5 deputies. Didn't matter where he went after I had made that threat to Zoe. Thought it was really funny.
Because he's scared to death.
Absolutely.
Here's my plan for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I need permission to do it. But if you guys say no, then that's fine too. I have my
Okay,
other
let's
ways.
hear it.
He fanned the hammer on me, so I'm going to have a little fun with a hammer that I have in one of my satchels. You know, symbolism.
As Scott would call it, the hammy. You're gonna pull out the hammy.
I guess would have called it.
Oh, that's what he did call it. Rest in peace, his soul.
I liked your brother, too.
It's not my brother.
Why
What?
did he say you were brothers?
I don't know. Scott's fucking... He was weird, man. He was a little strange, but I liked him.
Yeah, so who killed him?
It's a long story. Well, it's not a long story. Him and Eddie got into a debacle,
Oh, God.
and he
Enough
ended up
said.
getting hurt from it. And his nose was broken. And then Peaches took a look at his nose and saw that it was broken and tried to put it back in place, and that fucked up things even worse. So it was nobody could have expected that outcome. It was a fucking freak accident, pretty much.
Wait, is his nose bone? Did it go into the brain like I read about in a book?
Dude, what up, Odd?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know.
How
It
you
hit
been, man?
everyone real hard, though, because Rocco just happened. Alvin's in a coma. Fucking Scott died. It's just a fucking nightmare. Van Horn. the
Dude,
people
Van
in
Horn in the
have
last
been
week
struggling.
took a fucking
I
huge
was in a
L.
coma.
Alvin is in a coma. I
From
don't
that
know what
situation
happened. I'm assuming,
in
yeah,
Rose.
it's something to do with that Rocco situation. He was shot down, apparently, at some point.
Fuck, so he doesn't
And-
know.
He doesn't know about anything, no.
I know. I honestly
He
wish I
was
watched
shot
more streams,
down,
but
and
it's too
then
much
a few days
information.
later, or he was in a coma, and then a few days later, they transferred him to Saint Denis from Sisika to do surgery on him, and they had to remove one of his kidneys. I don't know what for. He's still in a coma. He's not in a good condition at all. I mean, it's fucked up, man. It's rough right now.
I like
Yeah,
went
let's
to
not get
Verge's
into it. It's
chat
not fun.
yesterday to say like what's
I know
up
what
because
happened to yours.
I wasn't gonna go live. And the second I join,
see.
they're talking about like Zip. Like
No.
literally the first thing that I
knew
heard
somebody who
is Zip Quil is probably out somewhere with Jack Kettleman's nuts in his mouth or some shit like that. Was the very first. I literally clicked the stream and that's what I heard. And I was just like, okay, I gotta nope the fuck out of this one. I don't watch streams. Like, I fucking can't go and support other streamers because it's just Zip. The second I hear Zip, I'm like, well, that's a wrap.
had their kidney eaten
Came back like an hour
out of
later,
them
was like, is it safe?
by a cannibal.
Jesus Christ. Booker?
Yep. No. Her name was Caroline. That was the cannibal. And Danny Ford. Do you remember
It's
him?
just because how active we've been.
Danny? Like,
Danny
used
Ford
to
from
run the
Valentine, Red
tone-
Boots.
yeah, toenail business with Dakota.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I think.
Yeah, Danny. He was
Yeah.
always in Valentine, worked at the bar for a little bit.
It's why I
Uh-huh.
can't go watch Law
He
at all. I have like a
was
weird
friends
thing.
with the
Every time
cannibal,
I go to watch Scarlet,
and
I
that
see
cannibal
like
used
it's
that
Zip.
friendship and trust. He was trying to change who she was to get her off of eating people into doing other stuff, and
Of course,
I guess
Danny
she,
entrusted
yeah,
fucking
yep,
cannibal.
and she succumbed to, I guess, the will.
Didn't he
Kinda
have
like-
a thing for Dakota or something?
Yeah, I think he did at one point. But yeah, she kidnapped him and ate his kidney.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Yeah.
Was he still conscious while she ate it?
I don't remember.
I know
I
it took
think
me and
I
it come
think
up,
so
I-
though.
That's
I
fucking
mean,
crazy.
he was either awake and passed out during it, or he passed out right before it happened, or something like that. I don't know. It
As
was
of
ages
right
ago,
now-
over a year ago now.
Is he still alive?
On
I haven't heard about
TRP or
Danny
whatever
in
it's called,
almost a year.
Zip Quil is the most
So
streamed
Dakota and
character
I
on WildRP.
disguised ourselves as old people, got a bunch of makeup shit done.
Who was
for
second?
Miss Goose's funeral? Way back when, and that was the last time we saw him. He showed up out of the blue after like
Hold on.
8 months of not being
I
around.
think Casimir Gold was.
Came for the funeral, and then we saw him walk off towards the Valentine pig pens, and we haven't seen him since.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but anyways, I plan on hammering nails into his
Yeah,
hands
see?
and feet in Van Horn.
Yeah, it's Casimir and then Coco.
Sounds intriguing.
But she hasn't been
But I
live in a
won't
while.
bring that attention to Van Horn unless everyone there is okay with it.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to ask Wallaby about that one.
Scar's close.
I would love a display of
But I have like a
that, but we
200-hour
do know
lead
that
right
that'll
now.
fucking bring Law down on Van Horn hard.
But it would also show a message that that's what happens when you do that sort of shit in Van Horn. Remind people not to fucking ride their horses through it all willy-nilly.
Yeah, I agree. John, what the fuck is the redheaded's name is?
Bishop?
Bishop. He was one that rode through Van Horn. Wiley rode through Van Horn. Dan Lynn rode through Van Horn.
All weak, pathetic deputies.
The Australian, I think it's
Terry Mallard.
I think it's only when you
Mal-
have Zip
yeah, that
Quil
one.
in the
He
title.
rode through there.
When you were riding with Two Snakes,
I think
on
you
the
have to
ranch,
put the name
you
in the
remember
title
Toby?
in order for it to count.
do.
So the times that I didn't
That's-
put Zip Quil's
that's
name in the
Toby's
title,
brother.
or
Terry
started
Mallard.
streaming on a different
Toby
like
Mallard.
server,
Really?
or started streaming on
Yeah,
Ignite.
so get this shit.
Interesting.
I'm visiting Toby's grave. Me and Toby were good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm visiting his grave one day, and that fella came up with a nice little badge on.
I'm sure there's
I said,
other
"Who the
people
fuck are
that
you?"
are
And he said,
up
"That's
there
my
with
brother
Zip,
right
but they
there."
just don't put their names in the title.
And guess how he fucking found out Toby was dead?
How?
A lot of the ranch folk didn't like Law
Oh, it does? Okay.
because they weren't doing anything to prevent shit happening. It was Toby that was stopping that shit. I mean, you guys were one of the ones attacking the place. he went up to someone from the ranch and said, "Do you know where my brother's buried? Or not buried. Do you know where my brother is?" Not knowing he's dead. And they were like, "Yeah, I'll take you to your brother." Took him to the grave and said, "There's your brother," and walked away. That's how he found out.
Zip and
his brother
Scout
was
have
dead.
had a crazy friendship.
Huh.
Last time he was in here,
They were at war with each other for
I
like
just found out today,
18 hours.
or yesterday, that he was one of the ones that fanned me down with Pruitt.
Zip made the
Oh,
call
so
to
he was there
stab
that
Scout
night as well, huh?
He was the one standing
during the
next
Tommy
to
Two
Pruitt
Snakes
when
war.
it all went down. And
Huh.
someone told me that the two in the front were the ones that fanned me down, so they both fanned me down. And when I was in here, when they dropped me off, he tells me to leave his brother's name out of my mouth.
Huh.
I said, "No, you need to leave your brother's name out of your mouth. That I'll have people watching his grave. And the next time I see that you're there visiting Toby, I'm going to bury you next to him." And this was before I found out he was one of the ones that fanned me down.
Mm.
So I'm going to make sure he gets real close to Toby
Yeah.
by slitting his throat over his grave.
Well,
Damn.
there's the Toby unlock. Or the Terry
I gotta
unlock.
tell you this much.
There's 3
I
people
do
we're
not
going
believe that
after
law
chat
is
when
ready
we
for
get out.
what's about to come.
They never are. They act like they are. They act like they're fucking ready for every fucking fight that they go in. You know the thing?
Zip explains to
that drives me
Danya
the
in
most
depth
nuts is
each
they have
plan.
all this shit to say about you, me, criminals, outlaws. How cowardly
I need to
we
get
are
torture
because of the way that
perms
we
from
handle
Erica,
certain
please, for
situations.
Revenant.
How weak we are.
I need to
for it.
get torture perms for all of them because they're
But
all
it's
going to
so
be pretty
funny how
fucking
much
crazy.
shit they talk when you're on one side of the cell.
We're
and
going to
you're on the
crucify
other.
Pruitt.
Isn't it though?
And then when you're out in the
Zip
world,
talks to Scout about it.
one-on-one, it's funny how quickly they seem to be different people. Bishop's one of them. John Bell's one of them. There's so many deputies that it's almost like a different fucking person when you're behind that cage. The amount of shit they talk, the amount of disrespect they give. But then when
Yeah.
you're on the other side of that fucking wall with them, they talk to you like a human being. It's fucking crazy to me. Yet they call
really
us
is.
weak. You, me, Barton here, most of the fucking people in Van Horn, probably all of them, and I know all the people in the West, they get the same person on both sides of that cell. If we're assholes on one side, we're going to be assholes on the other. I don't know. I find that being a stronger human being than the fucking weak kind of shit that they have. Going into Van Horn when people are fucking sleeping is pathetic.
I can agree with that.
That's like us trying to rob a sheriff station in fucking Armadillo when we know Bill and Negan are asleep or out east.
Right? Making a plan and everything.
Right.
No, we were going to crucify him to the sheriff's office
Yeah.
in Van Horn.
You want to know
That's
something
why.
interesting?
That's why
The
Zip's
one
asking
person
Scout about it.
that I have seen that actually respects Van Horn is Zoe Winters. She has made sure, she has told me that she doesn't go there. I've never seen her there. She always talks about how she doesn't want to go there. She's the only one that I feel respects it. And I think if it comes down to it, and we do what we have to do to these deputies one day, and it will happen, I hope that I get the opportunity to let her go, so that way they can realize that if they simply follow the rules that we laid out, they won't be harmed.
Well, Zoe knows what happens when they fuck around.
You know, that's what I told her when I kidnapped her the other day, because I wanted to speak to her, and you know how speaking to deputies goes when you're wanted.
You literally have to fucking kidnap them.
Yeah,
or
you
else
have
you're
to
just gonna
kidnap 'em.
Convince them to fucking turn yourself in and pull a gun on you. You have to. You have to.
Yeah.
It's such a funny fucking world we live in.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I kidnapped her and I told her, I said, Zoe, you are one of the few smart deputies, I feel like. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way or
She's
in
one of
like a
three that I
backhanded
met.
way. Yeah, I mean that in a genuine, you use your brain, you think about things.
She's also the same person on either side of that cell.
Mm-hmm.
She cares for us, which she shouldn't.
Yeah, I like Zoe.
I do too. But I was hunting her down. I was tormenting the shit out of her. But, you know what's funny about what you said, and I could verify how true it is?
How's that?
The day before I got shot down.
No, Zip is gonna talk to Wallaby about it.
The day I got shot down. We were riding out to check telegrams.
Zip talks
and
to
we saw
Scott
people
about it right
going
now.
up through the woods. Double back on horses.
Alright, Dooley.
2 people on 1 horse, I mean. And we went and chased them down. It was Zoe and Rufus.
Mm-hmm.
I asked them what the fuck they were doing around Van Horn. They said they were avoiding. I said, you weren't just avoiding us? And they said, no, we didn't even see you when we started rearing out the path. Zoe was going up through the woods just to avoid being close to Van Horn. That is someone that respects what's going on there.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Understands who we are.
Yeah, and that even paid off for her. Just a few days ago, because when Law rode through,
Who
six of
we
them
are
rode
is
through.
not meant to sound
Like I said, they just
Van
rode
Horn,
through like
it's
nothing was
criminals.
happening.
Which they're
By
not
the
going
way.
to do now that Wallaby's out, I guarantee fucking to you.
No, they won't. And that's the thing. I would have gone and I would have found every single fucking one of those people, and I would have waited until they're alone, just like I did with Zoe. I feel like I can do this on my own a lot better than I can with a group, and make my move, and I would have fucking slit every one of their throats. But I know that that would have brought Law to Van Horn, and with our dwindling numbers, when we only have myself and maybe Dakota at the time, that's going to do more harm than good.
So was
You know?
Pete still locked up here?
Yeah, he was locked up. So, you know, when these things happen and you're going to do more harm than good, you want to go do what you know you're supposed to do and you have to do to keep that status up, but you have to balance. Do I do it and fuck ourselves over in the long term, or do I wait, as much as it pains me, until everyone's out and we can actually do what we got to do? But that being said, the Zoe thing, 6 Law ride through, and then about 15 or 20 minutes later, we go check our telegrams, and Zoe and Rufus had just been attacked by a fucking cougar. And they were both on the ground by the railroad tracks on our way. And my immediate reaction was, Zoe, what the fuck? There's 6 Law that just rode through, and I was getting upset. But then I calmed myself down. I was like, but Zoe wasn't there. And she has been nothing but kind to me and straightforward and told me the truth. And so I picked her up. Me and Dakota and Harry, we picked them up and we just let them go do their thing. And I feel like if that was fucking Terry Maliger or Pruitt or Dan Lynn, it would have been a different fucking story. But because she respects what we have in place there, she gets to walk away. And in fact, they would be happy to see us, even. And vice versa, you know?
Welcome back.
Yeah. It blows
I don't
my
know-
mind that there's deputies willing to go through there like that. What are your numbers like right now? Is Pete still in here? Is Peach still gone?
I don't know.
We've got
Zip
myself,
brings it up.
Dakota, Wallaby, Eddie, Peaches, and Pete.
I know he started
Like, we're
talking
just
about it.
missing. Well, we have Wesley, but he's not a part of our group, like officially.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he just hangs around Van Horn. Who knows? That may change one day. I don't know. And then Alvin, obviously, who's in that condition, and Rocco being gone. So I think there's just 6 of us that are in our group fully and out and about.
That's good. At least you have the numbers to defend Van Horn then.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I can have a couple people go there. Just show presence there.
Yeah, I think I saw Danya there. I think 2 days after you turned yourself in. Barton. So I don't know where she is now, but she was hanging around there when she woke up. And Alice and Fiver have been there intermittently. Same
Funny
with
enough,
Everett.
Danya's in the mine during this because we got a telegram like 10 minutes ago. Well, 10 minutes prior to this scene.
I think things are gonna start shaping up here soon.
Yeah.
You know, you just gotta
And it was
wait
Danya
to wait
saying
in
she's
game.
in Sisika. There's always downfalls before you have to rebuild and climb back up.
Oh yeah.
I always said it to my people. I always say it to my people that in order for us to learn, we have to fail. It's why I'm completely different than when you met me a year ago, Scout.
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of fights. I've failed a lot. But every time I learn something, the more and more you learn, the more and more those mistakes stop happening. I think a big problem, though, is people still remember that zip. That's what I told Zoe. It's actually why she was one of the ones that was getting targeted. They have a gun of mine. Malone promised to melt down any gun that comes across that is mine. So when it was taken, I took a civilian named Dane, which apparently Zoe was friends with. I let the hostage ride on the back of Zoe's horse. Me and Danya followed Zoe and the hostage up to Strawberry, and when we got to Strawberry, there was an ambush waiting for us from Law. 6 Law came out of the sheriff stations with guns out. So, well, the last time I saw Zoe and Rufus, I made Rufus get on his knees and with Zoe's gun,
I know when Barton walks away, the conversation kind of dies out. We're just bullshit.
6 rounds. Made Zoe believe that Rufus was about to get executed. And I pulled the trigger 6 times with no bullets in it. And as soon as I heard the sigh of relief, I bashed his fucking head in with it. And I told Zoe that until I get my gun, that she has 72 hours, or the next time there's going to be bullets in it. But later that day is when Pruitt showed up and fanned me down.
Yeah, I did not know about the fanning down.
Oh, right here.
It was quick, and they took me mid-fight.
Yeah.
You know, they did the same fucking thing with Pete.
You know what's fucking crazy to me? Mills was in town. They wanted to get me out so bad that they let Mills stay in, and we were looking around the same time. From what a deputy said, that me and Mills were the most wanted people on the crossing.
Huh.
That I was like 10 days above them.
Yeah. You know, we had a situation in Saint Denis where Pete went down, and there was a bunch of law in town, like 10 probably. And I tried to get Pete back. I was by myself, and they gave me one chance to fucking turn myself in, basically. And then they started shooting at me, and then they started chasing me down. So I shot one of them, their horse down, and then shot them down. Then I run into an alleyway, and that's where Deputy Wiley chases me, and I fucking shoot him down. And then I'm trying to get them to speak to me, and they're really nervous for whatever reason, thinking there's more of us out there. It's just me, though. And so Zoe makes the call to push up on me in the middle of our negotiation. So I fanned Clementine down during that. And then like probably 7 more of them showed up, and then they just took Pete and rushed him to the... I was by myself, and they took Pete and rushed him to the fucking law office because I was going from alley to alley, and I would just keep shooting them from a different side where they wouldn't expect it. I think they thought there were a lot more people than there was.
I wonder if we passed it.
And they just rushed him to the office. I don't know. I have opinions on that, but I guess I shouldn't share. He was the one I talked to, how that works.
Well, maybe if we ever booked it, I would not shoot at that.
What I like to do personally is I like to admit to the charges that I know for a fact I was there, so they think that I'm honest. And then ones that they don't know I'm there, and I know for a fact that they don't know I was there, and they're just speculating, I say, no, I wasn't there on that one. And that gets them to believe me because I said yes to everything else, right? So that's kind of like a little strategy I have when it comes to doing charges. But
I know a lot of people were
talking to her,
saying, like,
and
Scout, Zip, and Mills need
she
to
said
get
I
in a
had
gunfight
2,000 days.
with people
And through
because
that various
of their aim.
scheme that I do with admitting to charges,
But I like to
and
whip
saying
shots
I wasn't
there
there
in
for other
PvP. I
ones.
don't like to be
I
a
managed
crack
to
shot
get out
there
of
in
2
PvP.
charges. One was an accessory to something charge, and the other was, I think, an entire bank robbery. And my sentence, she said I had 2,000 days before reductions. Then after reductions and time served, it was down to 800 days. And then after that, I got the time served, which was
Dude,
like an
Alice,
additional
Mills,
200 days.
Scout,
So it was like 605 days I had
Zip,
in
and
Sisika
James in a
from a
firefight.
2,000 day
Good
charge.
luck.
And I think they fucked up because I was out, 3 days later when everybody else had like 15 plus day stays.
Jesus Christ.
It was really fucking strange.
It blows. So I one time made a deal. Do you remember when I was selling guns to Wallaby? I don't know when it was that
2 murders that I fucked something up. I
we-
wouldn't tell my parents.
Crazy shit.
Mhm.
I am, gonna go check telegrams.
Yeah. I don't remember. Pretty much we
Dang.
told Scout that we're going to torture. We're gonna bash Pruitt's head in with a hammer because Pruitt fanned the hammer. And then we're gonna nail his hands and feet to the sheriff's station in Van Horn. But in order to do so, Zip isn't gonna do that until he gets word from Wallaby, like the okay from Wallaby. If Wallaby shuts it down, which he most likely would. Is that what it was? Yeah, we're gonna do the Danya talk right now. Oh shit, I think I play music during this. Alright, so this is a letter to Scarlet.
Yeah.
Or Zoe.
Sometimes you just gotta get the shit
I'm sure
out.
most of you were in Scar's chat to read this.
Tired of lying to myself, damn.
But
When they hit me with
essentially
the
it's
how have I been?
you and Scout have had a few I heard you and Scout have had a few interactions. Scout filled me in on everything. I want to let you know I spoke to a reporter yesterday. I told her everything. See, I told her things that I want to tell you that I need to tell you.
Not well.
I'm gonna mute because there's a lot or another line. That I need to tell you, but I can't because then you would know how to hurt me. Then it dawned on me there will be an article probably Sunday. So I figured there's 2 things I could do. Tell you face to face or have you read it. Last time you visited, you told me it wasn't worth it. This time it would be. But you need to know something, Zoe. I will trust you with this, but if it's used against me, everything we built will crumble. See, it's unfair for me to say that because that is actually what I did to you. To the T. And then I made like a little joke. When people say to the T, like the letter T or T or T. Anyway, I am not you. I am not good. I am not nice. I'm an outlaw. I am your job's enemy, and they are mine. And then I pretty much said, but something. But something you know, Zoe is reading it from a paper that decided to lie their fucking asses off about the situation with me and Van Horn. You should just come in person. And then this was Zip's response to Jack, pretty much saying, I appreciate it.
And there's a chance he's gonna die.
Oh, so earlier that day, I log in. Someone tries to sell Zip cigarettes, so Zip shoved the cigarettes down his throat. I recorded it, but it's all black and no volume. So it's a very useless video. But I don't know who the person is. But we dropped them off to the local doctor. We left 2 details of 2 packs of cigarettes and vomit, like tobacco vomit.
Yeah, if they find my fingerprints, I'm in the and we're going to try to we're gonna join the drama club. Walk with me.
Okay, so this is
Let me grab a coffee.
this is the plan for when Zip gets out. Yeah,
We're
I
gonna
know.
join a drama club.
This will be quick.
Our ultimate goal is to get sisika outfits. Now we're gonna send a letter saying that Pruitt needs to meet us, but we're gonna send it as guards from here. One of us is gonna have to get arrested for a little bit amount of days.
Wicked.
Maybe like 30 or 60. But if law finds out we're doing it on purpose, it's gonna shut the whole shit down. But essentially, we're gonna have Pruitt meet us in open waters. We're gonna be in the guard's uniform. We're gonna kidnap him. Now, he decided to fan the hammer on me. So I'm gonna pull out a hammer that's on one of my saddlebags that I killed a bear with, believe it or not. And not a black bear, a motherfucking grizzly bear.
You killed a bear with a hammer.
I did, yes. Isaac was there. I also killed a wolf about an hour later. Same hammer. Oh, I've kicked a wolf to death when you were being arrested at Hanging Dog. We left Hanging Dog when I was with the lawman and I didn't have a gun. And right outside Hanging Dog, wolves attacked, and I jumped off my horse and started kicking the fucking wolf in the head until it died.
I want to see that from Scarlett's perspective.
Anyway.
How's Zip doing that?
We're going to be taking Pruitt. I talked to Scout. And he's going to talk to Wallaby, or I'm going to talk to Wallaby. But I'm going to hammer...
See, I say I talked to
If I
Scout.
get the approval from the Dead End Gang, I'm going to hammer Pruitt by his hands and legs with nails into the sheriff's station in Van Horn. That's the first target. Second target, as I found out yesterday, is Terry Malager. Now, Terry and his brother... Well, Terry's brother, Toby, him and I had a lot of history. Toby died from the law. So what does Terry do? Joins the fucking law.
Wait, what?
See, he didn't see his brother for a long time before his death. In fact, he came to the crossing looking for him, and someone decided to say, yeah, I know where your brother is, and took him to Toby's grave. Said, there's your brother, and walked away. That's how he found out his brother was dead.
That's such a fucking gnarly way, dude.
Now,
I forget the meta on who did that.
I'm not one for desecrating
I
graves.
feel like it was Leto.
But I'm one for poetic revenge. So we're gonna kidnap Terry. I'm gonna slit his fucking throat above his brother's grave. I'm gonna apologize to Toby for doing so. But I'm also gonna tell Toby, remind him that it was the badges that killed Allie. Now, Toby was like me in a way. If I died doing something illegal, I know that that death is... Well, people will they'll avenge me for it. But truthfully, they were just doing their job. But I'm going to remind him that Allie got killed. Now, I really don't know if the dead can hear. I don't know if when I go visit Nola or Robbie or anyone else I talk to while dead, staring at the fucking dirt. But if he can hear me, he'd understand. At least I hope he would. And if he can't hear me, then he wouldn't know that I just desecrated his grave, and it doesn't really fucking matter at that point. But the people of the ranch might be pissed off.
Zip logic.
You know, Terry above Toby. So that could get awkward, but also, I guess fuck them. I don't know. I'll talk to Benji about it, I guess. Third thing is this fucking reporter. Now, we're going to need to get... what are those nice calls that doctor used? A scooper?
Scalpel?
That's the one. We're going to need one of those because it's sharp and it's smaller than a knife. Because I'm going to carve that entire article into their back.
Could file down and throw a knife. They're pretty small.
Exactly, Julian.
Sure. But throw knives, they're pointy, but the blade's not as sharp as a scalpel.
Right.
See, I need it to be crystal clear, this article. That way, he gets to walk around his entire life with that article on his back. Knowing that if he ever... Well, I might shoot him in the head too, but if I don't, then he'll get to walk around every day with that article on his back. Actually, what if... Hear me out before getting disgusted. What if we do kill him, write the article on his back, cut that back skin off, and then put that article on, like, the head newspaper. Whoever approved this article will, like, hammer that in to their house or to the newspaper office. Like, that's our newspaper. Get it? Oh my god, we'll even label it the Quil's Daily. I'll carve that into him first. And then I'll, like, carve little lines underneath, carve the date, carve, like, 25 cents on, like, the bottom. Hold on, let me see. This is just gonna be a lot of carving. We'll do the Quil's Daily, new edition. Price 50 cents.
It does seem like a lot of carving.
You know what the fucking... I never read this before, and this pisses me off even more now. Well, we might kill every reporter.
You know what it says? Do you have the fucking paper on you?
I don't. But I did read it this morning.
No.
Someone posted a note.
Read between the fucking lines under Saints Daily. Oh, this pisses me off. Oh my god, I'm pissed. If I had a gun, I'd be shooting it at the water. Read it out loud.
The voice of the West and beyond.
Voice of the West? Voice of the West of my balls? Fuck them. That's asshole, depending on where I'm standing, by the way.
Yeah, I gathered.
Voice of the fucking West and beyond. How have I never noticed that before? They put that in there to fuck with me.
Yeah, I think so, because...
Kettleman's paranoia.
Read the article right now. Read it again. I've tried reading it like 3 times, but I always get to the where it says after a lengthful fucking standoff.
Okay.
And I throw the newspaper on the ground. I might punch you. Forewarned.
Okay, I've read this out earlier, but now I have to face your... But, okay. The night they took down old Zip... They took old Zip Quil down. Reverend Wright. After a lengthy standoff in Van Horn, Zip...
Oh, okay. I can. Just stop.
Let me read it out, and then you can punch me if you really feel like it. But just...
I already just want to escalate and push you into the water, Danya.
Just...
Fine. Go ahead, read the fucking thing.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, this was at like 2 a.m. too.
Zip Quil was sunk by deputies after a volley of bullets back and forth. Zip...
Back and forth, huh?
Rampage.
Back and forth, they say?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, real back and forth.
They shot first. Everybody said so. I was right there. They shot at you. Anyways, on we go. Zip had been on a rampage throughout the night, targeting deputies like a ship without its pilot to steer.
Oh, that ship had a fucking pilot, and even when it was foggy, I knew where that ship was fucking going.
Yup. After many warnings by law, Zip's aspirations were sent to the bottom of the Lanahaki River. The foghorn of Van Horn will be ringing in fond memory of the night Zip Quil was taken down. We wish him a speedy recovery in Sisika.
Alright, we're gonna add that to the bottom of their fucking back newspaper.
Did you kill this man's wife or something? Like...
No, in fact, I forced Isaac to give the dipshit his gun back.
I mean, he's pretty... He has a tone for... there's 3, 4...
The Kettle West Gazette.
5...
So...
Oh, I already told you.
We go back. Oh, this is the letter I sent to Hannah. I don't know if Nopes was streaming or not. Alright, so... You do whatever you feel is best. As I said, I will support you. I'm sorry I did that too. I hope you truly know I would never hurt you. I love you more than I did my own sister, Hannah, because you accepted me for who I am. It's the love I have for the Kettleman gang and why they are my family as well. I understand if you want out of the gang, and please let me know if that's the case. I don't want you to leave, but I also won't force you to stay. I care more about you and for you, I care more about you for you and not you as a member of this outfit. If you need anything, you let me know. I swear on everything I will always be there for you and try my fucking hardest to keep you safe. I hope to see you when I get out. But if I don't, I understand. P.S. Telling someone they probably need alone time in prison isn't the best thing to say, especially when they are serving 1,800 days. If I didn't love you, I would be furious with you for that. Oh, goddamn, I have to reload. 33 minutes. I don't know why this fucking thing does this. I'd probably be furious with you for that. From your brother, even if you don't feel the same, you'll always be my little sister. I was gonna do the brother thing that I used to do with Ollie, but decide not to. Okay, so Zip gives history here,
really for everyone.
which most of you have heard 1,000 times.
Every phase of someone's life, I don't know. I think Hannah's changing. She's trying to figure things out.
Oh, they pretty much just talk about the letter. Zip goes over the history of Sissy.
Outside.
Oh my god. Why
I
we're
would
here?
secretly hope that one of us would be locked up or asleep
I have to show you guys.
when the others went hunting. We even made jokes.
I got a
about
couple
potentially getting
sweet
locked up, so while
screenshots.
they're out there fighting, we could be in here. Neither of us would do that. Neither of us would leave our families behind.
I think that one's my favorite. Dude, I love
on
the
a time
silhouette.
like that. With tears in our eyes, Danya, it became...
Oh my god, that part. God damn it, I did it again.
somewhere in me that cares about her.
I was so worried when they both went over. I barely got out of that.
It's history that I'm trying to keep alive, but I don't want to overdo it on stream.
A state that know my name. Be the Kettleman's West. I'll always be the Kettle West. The way I speak to you all is because I care about you. The way I speak to be the Kettleman's West. I'll always be the Kettle West.
This is a big moment. For those of you that weren't in Lunar's chat last night, Zip.
I could surpass every one of Jack achievements. And it would still be the Kettle West, and I wouldn't change it. I was asked if I was going to name the canyon Quil Canyon, and I said no. It'll always be the Kettle Canyon. I need everyone. When I get out of this fucking place, I need everyone to understand that the way I speak to you all is because I care about you. See, right now, I'm glad to hear you guys at a bank. I'm glad to know Jonesy and Barton went after deputies. But there's certain times, like when we were up in Coulter, that Barton let Zoe go and Isaac didn't stop her at Wallace. There's times I feel like I need to hold all of your fucking hands to do certain things. And this isn't anyone's fault other than mine.
Yeah, so a big thing I've been telling chat the past like couple weeks is I want to start giving more people, because Peppo did it a lot, where he would bring up like history that these new characters like Lunar and Rez and Kaz don't know about. They don't know the history. See, Legends knows it because he was there on Toby or something. Like, he knows it as like an OOC level. He knows the history, but a lot of people don't that are coming to Wild, and it's, I don't know. I always loved hearing things that like I didn't know even OOC, like about the fucking sheriff that Riggs killed and all that. Like when Jack was talking about him, like it was so surreal because before I started playing Wild, I had watched the Baz series, Banks. And I didn't know who any of the characters were. And then Jack starts like laying these things. And I remember the moment that Jack told me or said Baz's name to Zip, and I was like, it was so surreal for me to be in Wild. Because it was like the first couple days of me being back into Wild. It's just those moments is like, holy shit. And you get like the chills OOC about it. Especially being in the server with these people like Banks and Riggs and stuff like that. Especially knowing the history. So it's nice hearing that shit in character.
But my faults are because I didn't tell you those actions or why we were taking them and why we need to take them. I haven't taught you the fucking principles that I was taught. The principles that formed me like a hammer in a forge. I went to the West without a purpose. I thought my purpose was to go out there and collect flowers. Holly and I were gonna sell some opium. But we ran into Jack. Jack showed me who I was. Jack taught me everything I know. They say you're a product of your environment and your parents. I'm nothing like Abigail. Two people raised me as an adult, Danya. Jack Kettleman and Alice Fuller. I owe everything I had up until the day you met me to them. I would contest Jack, and he would tell me why.
The Baz story is what made me apply to Wild.
After he explained, I agreed with him. But that's just it. He explained it to me.
I remember telling Oh Hey Liam and Wicked Phoenix when we were on the other server, like, this is the type of RP I want.
I want the Quil gang to function without me there. The things we do, the missions we're on, I want those to continue when I'm in here. I want to see you, well, not see because I'd be in here, but I want to hear about you and Isaac, McLeod, Daza, Barton, Jonesy. Still riding 6 deep, but the thing is I want to make Isaac second in command. Fuck, he has the name.
Yeah, the 17th. We got 18
but I haven't
days.
taught him.
And how you doing, buddy? I think I got your name right in the credits. I don't know if you've seen the credits yet, but I threw you in there. Red Lance.
Danya. And right now, there's not one person in the outfit that I trust to be that. And that's, like I said, not your fault, it's mine. I'm going to be tough on every single one of you when I get out of here. I'm going to teach you everything Jack Kettleman taught me. Every principle. Every punctuation in that principle. Every fucking
Rez,
space between
we were
letters
just talking
you
about
guys
that.
will know,
Like,
memorize,
is it surreal for you to hear the history of the
and
KG and
understand.
DC war in character? Like when Zip talks about his part of it?
It will no longer me giving orders.
I don't think I
I'm
talked
not gonna come
to
up to
Barton.
you guys and
I haven't
say
talked
this is
much
where we're
about the
going.
KG war from when Zip joined.
I'm gonna
It's
come up
surreal,
to you
dude.
guys and explain why we should go. I'm gonna be looking for a number 2 during this time. And Danya, I want you to understand that if I had to choose one to focus on, it'd be you. But we need to teach you not to hesitate.
Yeah.
Isaac has a problem with paying attention in pivotal moments. That's what I'm going to focus with on him. McCloud is very anti-law. I'm going to teach her to be anti-world when she needs to be. I'm going to teach her how to use that anger she has for the law to use it on anyone she comes across, but in a way that would benefit her and not just draw blood. I'm going to teach Jonesy.
We're doing a job with Jack when we get out too. The KG and
How to be
Quills
not
are going to
just
be
a yes man.
interlocked pretty tightly when Zip gets out.
In the way of the outlaw. Jonesy is heavily influenced with Western. His clothes drive me fucking nuts too, if I'm being honest.
And when I get out of here, the first thing one of the things we wanted to do today, but never got to, was I wanted to take Rowan to the tailor and get something that doesn't look like a Clementine knockoff.
Don't tell anyone. But I sent a letter to Taylor. We're getting cloaks made. We're also getting Lancasters etched with the Quil, property of Quil gang.
Explain the card thing. What card thing? Card.
Every single one in this outfit has learning to do. My learning is to lead. I'm setting a job up the day I get out of here with me, Jack, Alice, Pip, a few people from the Kettlemans. I don't think any Quil gang will be there. But that's because I don't want them to see this conversation that I have with Jack. I don't ask Jack for anything.
Oh, the card.
He's always told me
Wait.
he's glad I'm leading my own thing. And then if I ever needed him, he'd be right by my side, like I was to him. That's a card that's been in my
Hello,
deck,
beautiful.
and I never used it.
How are you? I've been saving it for when I really need him, and this is the time that I really need him. I'm not just gonna ask him how to lead. This was last night, but yeah, she's in there right now. First question. This is a recording. I'm gonna ask him when I see him. Moose. I'm sending love. I think if he tells me that, I'll be able to see things in all of you. That'll help me better individually work with every single one of you. We have learning to do, but it starts with me. And learn to lead. We've gotten this far. We have a full gang. And for about 3 weeks, we were the most dangerous gang in the crossing. The reason because of that is because other gangs were locked up here. But that changes. The day I step out of these fucking walls, it doesn't matter if Jack Kettleman is raising hell. It doesn't matter if WildRP is summoning demons across the fucking crossing. We will be the most feared gang. We will be the gang that no one fucks with. It doesn't matter who's in Sisika. It doesn't matter who's away. We're not going to be dangerous because other people are locked up. We're going to be fucking dangerous because that's who we are. Your last day in Sisika, I want you to come up to this very windmill. And I want you to stare at that city. I want you to look long and hard. Because when I get out, from Saint Denis to Ansburg to Coulter to Blackwater, we'll be in fucking flames. Doesn't matter if WildRP's on the streets. Doesn't matter if Jack's on the streets. They'll see the Quil fire that is burning the crossing down. My days are numbered, Danya. They have been for a while. But I'm gonna hold on until I know this gang can operate with me gone. I'm not gonna let you guys down. Any questions? Any questions? I'm excited, dude. I'm excited to come out and just fucking...
Let me see those names again.
Names of the cities? The 17th can't come soon enough.
Who we're going after.
Pruitt, Terry Malager, and Revenant. Right, I think? We're halfway there, which that happened pretty quickly, if you
guys
ask
don't
me.
move on them until I'm out.
No, I think there's deals that we can make. I was gonna see if I can make a deal to give them my word to not go after Zoe when I get out.
Get out of here. I want you to write Danya, Jonesy,
But
Barton, Isaac,
one, I don't think they would listen, and two,
and McLeod.
Zip's conversation with Zoe today
And
is
I
gonna
want
fuck
you
that
to
all
lead
up.
them. Just for a day. Go rob folk, remind folk who we are. Get information on different outfits, outfits that will benefit us and outfits that we'll probably have run-ins with. And the person that does the best, I want you to tell them that they leave the next day. And so on and so forth. Until I'm out of this place. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
So pretty much Zip's making them all lead a day to see who does the best.
Barton should be out when you get out. Barton.
Yeah, I think he gets out on the 10th.
Jonesy won't be. Jonesy will be in here until the 14th.
Okay.
Indy also needs to talk to me about something, and I need you to find out what it is.
Alright. Can you give me Indy's telegram?
Yeah, we'll head there right now because I'm gonna go to bed.
So that's it. And now we're into today. Whatever today brings, whoever brings the sisika. We might get more time, honestly, the way that Zip's pissed off right now. But we'll see. If we somehow get a shiv, Zip is gonna invite Revenant over to sisika, which we're definitely gonna get more days for. But we're gonna carve her up in carve him up in sisika. But yeah, that was all the meta from Scout and from Danya last night. No pressure.
There's a monster under my bed, and at my window there's a dragon. I accepted the challenge, it turned me into a savage. I broke a promise to myself again. I don't know why I am so vulnerable. They try to help, but I won't let them in. I guess rock bottom's where I'm comfortable. Both my feet planted when most people would have panicked. I embraced the storm. I found beauty in what was damaged. I'm not afraid of the boogeyman. Instead, I look at him like he's a friend. There's not a monster out there in the world that's scarier than the one that's within. There's a creature in my closet. I can hear him rumbling around. The demon screaming in the distance creates such a humbling sound. The monster that's outside my window, he's like family to me now. The things that people are afraid of never let me down.
Not to say this no, but I'm hated so. My religious freaks say I'm the biggest beast and that I made it grow. When I spray this flow, I created mo. Creatures are like when I heat up the mic, I'm a breed of the night, but I'm tainted though. By the darkness I'm blinded, I sparked it and shined it. They find it, cause mine is whoa. For that they label me a demon seed. Wanna disable, need to see them bleed. Hinder me fatally and see them grieve, no. You would not believe the creature inside me. If you deceive, Khalifa's alive. We disagree when people defy me or try to take his. Whatever the fuckery toward them, you don't wanna break this. You forsake his with a sacred, then it's over no matter what your faith is. I'm a creature.
There's a creature in my closet. I can hear him rumbling around. The demon screaming in the distance creates such a humbling sound. The monster that's outside my window, he's like family to me now. The things that people are afraid of never let me down.
Yeah, I managed to get myself in trouble, all of this pain. Yeah, I'm damn in the double dose of liquor's always to blame. If I could keep myself sober, I keep my hands to myself. I take a shot and it's over, that's how I end up in hell. I hope I don't pass it down to my offspring. They get everything from their daddy, feel like I'm addicted to all things. There's no reason to change, gone too far now. And I'm stuck in my ways, back at the bar now. They say I'm a flirt and they right, I ain't perfect, alright. So when I'm thirsty and perking and purposely searching for something that's hurting me so I just can't pack up and go, I just back out of it slow, that's how it go. I knock the back out the hole, and next like I don't know. Okay. I think he be laughing at me, hands be grabbing at me. Feel like God let it happen to me, dab it blasphemy, and these be a dab it naturally. Okay, yeah. I think I better let it go. Either that or I gotta let it know. And I can't do that.
There's a creature in my closet. I can hear him rumbling around. The demon screaming in the distance creates such a humbling sound. The monster that's outside my window, he's like family to me now. The things that people are afraid of never let me down.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta get the shit out, man. Tired of lying to myself, when they hit me with the question like, how have I been not well? Ducked off in my shell. Feel like everybody out there want me to kill myself. So I roll another him black whelp, loading up clips with my shells, yelling like anybody out there. No wonder why they did not help. So how have I been not well? Ducked off in my shell. Feel like everybody out there want me to kill myself. So I roll another him black whelp, loading up clips with my shells, yelling like anybody out there. No wonder why they did not help. So fuck it, I did myself. Took my wins and my L's. Now that I'm big like L, they bumping my shit like Braille. I got the FN in my belt. Yeah, I'm defending my belt. They want my reign to quit, might as well. Psych, I'ma give them all hell. I'm talking big dog shit, might smell. I'm a pit, they just clip my tail. In the kennel, call the shit myself. Call Chris and tell him get my bail. Wasn't saved by shit like hell. In the rough, I spit like sales. People mugging like a league right rail. Cause I'm looking like I did Rob Zales. I got a bad little bitch I nail. When I'm hammered cause I sit and I dwell. I live a dream, let me pinch myself. But some people get sick, I'm well. They say I rap too quick like Welt. Cause I'm supersonic with my tails. Street timber so I did not sell. Cause I won't let them hit my cell. City clicking with niggas I kill. Hit the show, I might empty out shells. She don't bump my shit, I can tell. But she begging for the dick like 12. Only tech giving shit about rail. Other rap niggas sitting like well. They wanna see me in a 5x7. Or probably hanging in a 10x12. So how have I been not well? Ducked off in my shell. Feel like everybody out there want me to kill myself. So I roll another him black whelp, loading up clips with my shells, yelling like anybody out there. No wonder why they did not help. So how have I been not well? Ducked off in my shell. Feel like everybody out there want me to kill myself. So I roll another him black whelp, loading up clips with my shells, yelling like anybody out there. No wonder why they did not help. Got a bitch named Kim my trail. She give me head like it's not tails. They ask how have I been not well. Cause every bitch I kiss not tell. I haven't been feeling well, jumped in the wishing well and tried to swim like Phelps, bitch, I'm a killer well. Isolated as well, tried to go get some help, bitch, in reality, just call me Killer Rel. Searching for heaven, won't walk right into hell, who am I kidding? I go with this in as well. I treat that bitch like this citadel. Fuck with me, y'all black on naps, call me Splinter Cell. Rappers be talking like psychos and killers, but I'm on the turf more than NFL. They tried to hit me, someone go get Terrell. I got the feeling that this won't be ending well. I know they want me to forget myself. I run like I was stopping jobs with dimension sales. Wasn't winning, feeling low, so fuck it, I let it L. Only had a dub sack for the hipper shell. Took matters in my own hand like the pistol held. Bitches kicked me, I was down, now they kicked themselves. Yeah, they thought shit was sweet like a ginger ale. And that's where every hocus pocus like a witch's spell. Can't name a form of adversity that I didn't quell. That shit for the birds like Miller Hell. I hope niggas got the message like they get the mail. Was off track like a train when it gets derailed. Envy coming from the women in the mid as well. Because you're circling half like a sickle cell. And probably want you to die like a sick of self. So I've been secluded just working on my mental health. They asking how have I been not well? Ducked off in my shell. Feel like everybody out there want me to kill myself. So I roll another him like whelp. Loading up clips with my shells. Yelling like anybody out there. No wonder why they did not help. So how have I been not well? Ducked off in my shell. Feel like everybody out there want me to kill myself. So I roll another him like whelp. Loading up clips with my shells. Yelling like anybody out there. No wonder why they did not help.
The one thing I hate about Sisika days is we're not involved with anything outside the walls, but like, I love the meta drops we get once. Yeah. Who the fuck is this?
Well, good morning there, Mr. Quil.
Holy shit, North, is that you?
Hello.
Yep.
How long y'all in here for?
I'm gonna be here until the 20th.
I'm here till the 17th.
The 7th or the 17th?
17th.
17th.
Sorry, I misheard. Apologies.
Give me 8 years in this shithole. Not even halfway.
Yeah. I think I'm close to halfway. I think technically today or tomorrow's halfway for me. I've been here since the 30th.
Since when?
Since the 30th.
Please tell me, Zip, you're not part of this fucking movement out west, are you? Where they're gunning down deputies starting a war?
Well, no. I've been in here since Jack got out. I think the day after I got in here, I saw Jack, and he seemed to have a particular mission on him.
So it's fucking Jack starting a mission there. To kill all the deputies coming out west.
That was a big one back in the day. When I was with the Kettleman gang, the Kettlemans, Boone's Boys, and Sam's Club, before it was the Bastards, when Sam Bass was still alive, we were making sure every lawman that showed up in the West got robbed and dropped off at McFarland's.
I know, I was part of the Boone Boys.
Holy shit, I
was part of
completely
that
forgot
whole
about that.
fucking deal. Peace of the West.
Yep.
History might be repeating itself then if it's happened before.
Yeah,
like the deputies got gunned down for being in Armadillo yesterday.
Yeah, you heard about that, Quil?
No, I have not.
Apparently 6 deputies got shot down by...
Is that Megley?
Well, I think it was Redlands and some people. In the middle of the fucking town. Well, if that happens, the next you're gonna have is a Gatling gun, the army, and 18 more deputies, so... Again, idiot.
I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit. I'm with it. Fuck the law. The way they've been coming out west. We were just sitting there one day and they brought, I think it was about 16 lawmen to Armadillo. Shot us all down within minutes. I get it when we're wanted and we're in a town that they bring full force, but north, they're doing that already. Before we were targeting law and sending messages, they did that. They have been doing that. Shit, in April, when I was opening the opium den, I think 14 lawmen came and shot up the grand opening.
Yeah, I remember that.
Were you wanted before? You were wanted, right? They wouldn't just come and shoot it down. You're a wanted man.
I mean, yeah, I was wanted, but who in the West isn't wanted?
That's the reason they come. Only reason they're out there is because they're coming to pick up the bad people like you, North, me, everybody else out west.
That's definitely not necessarily true, because when I was in here and all my people were in here for those crimes that we had committed, we had civilians operating out of Tumbleweed. We had a gunsmith, we had general store owner, we had people running the saloon, we had people running the opium den. We had that town fucking so filled up, and Rabbit was there every single day fucking with those civilians just because us, the Quil gang, and other gangs have been known to go to Tumbleweed. They were running them out. I came here for 300 days or I think it was 500 days. And when I got out of this fucking place, I went to Tumbleweed and it was dead. And everyone said the exact same thing. Rabbit came in and pushed out all the civilians and emptied the town within fucking hours. And those were civilians. They weren't wanted. And Rabbit was there treating them like they were wanted just because I had the opium den there. And I was already arrested. All of my people were arrested. We all got shot down in Armadillo or in Tumbleweed.
Deb, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't the biggest fan of the opium den because it brought so many weird individuals riding their carriages all the way from Valentine. Being a fucking morons. I'll be honest, I fought 3 people that week. Because they were just being fucking dumbasses. And they were being dumb and stupid.
Technically, that opium den lasted about an hour and a half before law came and shot the fucking thing down.
You think they're paid by the government to come and get rid of things out west? Because my issue ain't with the law. They're doing their jobs. I can't knock them for doing their jobs. Do bad shit, I deserve fucking punishment. It's the way life goes. It's the way it goes into your little boy and your father beats you. Whatever else, whatever you call a guardian back in your youth. It's the money and the fucking government that are the problem. Think they pay the law to say, hey, look, here's your money, here's your fucking weekly salary. Go and fuck up the West. And that happens.
Do you honestly think that every badge is just there to do their job? Because that ain't the fucking case. There's badges that go above and beyond to use that shield as exactly what it is, a shield. They do worse shit than we do. Fuck, Rabbit has used the same sort of torture that I use, that I served 500, 800 days in this fucking place for. They do it, and they get a demotion and a slap on the fucking wrist. There's people in that fucking department that use that badge as a way to go and torture, to beat, to treat us like fucking shit, and go into towns and clear that shit out just because they don't want to have to deal with people like us. And I get it. I get it to the point to where there are deputies that are just doing their jobs. There are good deputies out there. I am not anti every single lawman. But the problem is there is a lawman that use that as a fucking scapegoat. And that's where I have a problem. And unfortunately, those are the ones that move into the West and try to kick everybody out and try to do what they're doing. The clementines, the fucking rabbits.
I only met Rabbit a few times, but I don't know if Rabbit is this one I mentioned to you, North, about being the psychopath who would become the leader of the
Rabbit is
Boone
the
Boys.
psychopath. When we tried to get Boone out, Rabbit shot through their own darn deputies just to get Boone out. Fucking psycho.
Exactly. And we do that with the hostage to shoot at law. We get attempted fucking murder. They do it. They get a good job. Because if they get the person that they were shooting to that fucking deputy or hostage to get to, that's a win for the law. The bad person's away in Sisika. The only thing that separates Rabbit and us in here, the fucking animals they call us, is that fucking badge.
What's your plan? Just gonna gun down every deputy until they die? What's the game here?
No, that's not my plan. Sounds like that's other people's plans. I have a list of people that are on the shit list for me, and only one of them's a deputy. But that's just, actually two of them are, but they're not getting hunted because they're deputies. They're getting hunted because of their actions.
No, I have a different philosophy for the West. I think as long as we get the least amount of idiots there, and as long as we don't have our shit there, when we don't shoot the deputies, they think there's nothing there, they'll leave, and we live there in peace. Meaning we can rob wherever we want out east, we go west, we rest in peace. That's what I'm thinking about it. The moment that we get an opium den and a little, well, bar opening and this and that, and the only thing that's gonna come is more trouble. Because at the moment the civilians show up to get a drink or get whatever they want, and the deputies are gonna show up, people are gonna get angry because they don't want the deputies there, and just gonna keep on going. It never stops. As long as we keep the West almost better.
That's not true. It's not civilians that are bringing law out there, it's us. There's been times where both those cities, Tumbleweed and Armadillo, didn't have anyone operating out of the saloon, didn't have anyone operating out of fucking any of the stores or a gunsmith, nothing like that, but law was still out west with Gatling guns. No matter what, the law knows that we run to the west. They know who goes to the west. They know when we go to the west. They know that if we go robbing in the east, that the next place we're going is the west. They know when I shoot someone down or I rob a bank, if they want to find me an hour later, it's going to be out west. We are the ones that bring them out there. We need civilians out there so that, I don't know, there could be fucking peace out in the west. Money to be earned that's not just out robbing folk. Money to be earned that, you know, people are sitting behind that bar, so when we go in, when we're fucking parched, there's someone there to operate that bar. They don't have to be fucking civilians. They could be people. There's civilians out there that hate the law just as much as I do. But they won't commit crimes. They have morals. They have their fucking things in life that prevent them from raising a gun to get what they want. Those are the people that we need operating those saloons, those gunsmiths. It's not civilians bringing law out there. It'll always be us that brings the law out there.
I disagree with you, man. When I need a gun, I go out east and I find one. When I needed alcohol, I went to the Bastille. I stole every fucking expensive bottle they had. I threw it on a cart and I brought it out to the fort. Which is why there's so fucking much alcohol at the Mercer. Because I brought it there. Whenever I need something, I go get it, and I bring it safely to a nice spot out west where I can enjoy it for a long time. I don't need civilians and whatever to do that.
Problem is, all the bad shit we do, we're all too self-righteous. That's not the problem. We go and do the fucking crime. You sure we want civilians to come out? I agree with you, Zip. We need civilians to come and patent out the fucking West to bring custom and business markets. The problem is names like Quil's, North's, Danya's. They're all bad people. And our names get tarnished on the people who don't deserve it. We're all far too self-righteous to admit it. We're the reason why people get hurt. People who don't deserve it, like those people who worked in the tumbleweed and your opium den, Zip. Your fault. Your people's fault. Not theirs. Not the laws. You gotta take that blame. So it's always gonna be. We do what
Now,
we do
dude,
because we feel like we have no other choice.
see, I do take that blame, but I'm not the only one to blame with that. Rabbit didn't
I
have to
agree.
go out there and do what they did.
Maybe it's just a way of life. Maybe we look too deep into these things, huh? Maybe no matter what we do in this life and the legacy you leave, this is the way.
I ain't looking too deep into it. It's all just logical thinking. The moment we get other people out west, we're gonna need more houses. If we need more houses, we need more streets, and then in no time, the whole fucking place is gonna look like Saint Denis. I tell you that. The cities, they're gonna grow, and grow and grow and grow, until there's nothing left to enjoy.
Here we go. All the fucking trees and all the rocks and all the bushes.
Yeah, you make fun of me all you want, old man.
I thought I was stubborn. What the fuck did that guy was a butler once? You know that?
He was?
Yes.
I can't imagine it.
He used to be fucking Wallaby's butler. When Wallaby and the Dead End Gang was using Braithwaite Manor, he was the one that fucking was at the door welcoming people in. Telling them to take off their fucking shoes. No, north. And so, what's your name, fella?
It's Bax. Met a few times, Zip. Only more in passing.
I'm horrible with names.
Don't you worry.
You guys get locked up today?
No, I've been here a while. About a week ago. Feels like it at least. Got a few more days before I'm released.
What's y'all's plans for when you get out of here?
Sounds like dodge bullets out west, from what I'm hearing. Got a lot of things I need to move and sell on. Try and keep my head down, find a reason to not come back here. No doubt try and find a way to make some more money.
It sounds like they're
Get away
anti-government,
from all
but
this bullshit.
I think it's because it's a law alt gang that they don't want to target law.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's
Like
the only
you, Zip,
reason
I've
why.
heard your name. Your name carries a lot of weight. I don't know you for shit, to be honest, but I've heard your name aplenty. You know how it is. You leave here and you get wrapped up into the next thing and fight for a cause and whatever else not. I'll find a reason to put a charge against your name, and well, it's only a matter of time before you wind up on
Oh my god,
the
I'm
walls,
actually
or you
tilting
take
my
a
head.
bullet, which is your last. Who knows?
I don't even have to do the slash me. Yeah. I definitely have earned many reputations. Most of them are not good. What the fuck is Zip doing with his neck?
long as you're fighting for what you believe in, it don't really matter, does it? Everybody's stories is going to be different.
Yep. From the beginning to the end, every story is different. Even if we're all locked in the same place, our stories of how we got here is different. What guides us is different. What led us to this point is different. I'm pretty sure North is the same fella that I met at the Braithwaite Manor. A long time ago, like a year ago now. Now he's leading his own Western gang.
Gangs only last so long. Just a bunch of people with a name above their heads. Means fuck all. It's where you're characterized and tagged as a follower.
Yeah. But you do enough, like I have, death won't make your name forgettable. I think I could die tomorrow, and the Quil name will still be heard throughout the crossing on a daily basis. I think stories of me will live on, but that's not why I do it. I do it, well, I do it because, like you said, righteous. At least in my heart, that is.
Die on the sword kind of guy, huh?
I'm running towards that fucking sword every day.
Yeah, till you die. Zip, don't you ever hope on like a happy ending?
The only happy ending I get North is if I die in Andy's arms.
Whose arm?
What?
Whose arms you're gonna die?
I said the only happy death I get is if I die in my wife's arms.
Well, I don't think she'll gonna be very happy about it.
No. But more than likely she'll be there with me for it.
In the end, I'm just a simple little man. I have a simple little dream. Gonna make a shitload of money. Then I'm gonna take all that money on a cart. And I leave out further west. Heard there's some great mountains. I go to those and get some cows. Live off the land and stay away from whatever troubles I left behind.
I have a question, North. You're so against civilians moving into the West. How do you want to rob people to make your money? Or would you rather have your money just be handed to you, not have to work for it? Do you enjoy robbing people? Is that what you want to do with the rest of your life? Robbing banks? Getting chased?
Well, that's not what I'm gonna be doing the rest of my life. I'm gonna be getting very rich for the next couple of months, and after I've got enough money, stealing my way through life, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here and never come back.
Imagine not having to aim that gun to get that money, North. Imagine being able to build something, and if you build it and protect that, then the people will be gracious. You can make a fuck ton of money. You know how much money that opium made in that hour and a half? Thousands.
Slow money. Very slow money. How much time you needed to put in to build that opium then? Didn't you put in like weeks of planning?
Not really. No, I kind of forgot to write everybody the grand opening until the day of. But that's the thing is, imagine the opium den, but also imagine owning the gun store. Imagine owning the saloon. Now, when someone comes out for opium and they want to go shooting while they're all fucked up on opium, they go to the gun store, that's more money. Imagine they get thirsty while smoking that opium. They buy a beer, they buy a stew, that's more money. See, if we build it up and we get the civilians out there, and we are the ones that steal the lumber from Blackwater to build those homes, all that money is in our pockets, North. We no longer have to get chased out of fucking banks anymore to make $5,000. We make $5,000 by building someone's a house with stolen fucking items.
Sounds great and all that, but for a man that wants to die in someone's arms, what the fuck are you gonna do with all that money?
I don't think I get to make it to see the finish, but I could start it for the people that will live on past me in my outfit. I have now 4 kids. I have a kid with a different mother and 3 more on their way. That money will be sent to them. I'm sure the Quil gang, even after I die, will still send that money towards my kids. If they don't, they're fucking assholes, and fuck them, but I'll be dead, so I wouldn't give a shit at that point, I guess.
So it's all about the legacy and the future. No, I get that, but I just don't think the law, or even whatever government Banks keeps talking about with his old head, I don't think they will let it. But that thing is, if it's all up to them, Saint Denis is gonna grow bigger and bigger and bigger until it eats up every small town and even the desert. And then all of your little businesses built out of wood are gonna be replaced with stone. And then in the end, ain't nothing west. You're just gonna be just the same as all those city fucks. I guess that's the future then.
North, by the time that happens, I'd be dead.
Yeah. You'll be dead.
We all will. I really love the fact that there's fucking people that don't want
I don't think we'll be dead.
civilians out there.
Think cities are gonna grow quicker and quicker. That's why they want to kill all the West. That's why they want to kill every outlaw. Because it's only those standing between them.
And you know that, and you're still questioning why there's gangs out there that are hunting law first? You're not the only one that sees that, North. Other people see that. And instead of waiting for the law to come and shoot them down, they're going after them first. There's a lot of injustice in this world, and most of it is us. Most of it is caused by us. But that doesn't mean that the people that wear those shiny things on their fucking chests are protected either.
No, I know. No, I have done my fair share of deputy destroying actions. And I blew some up. I ain't like Banks either. My little gang, the only thing that binds us is that we make money. Make money and we all have our own little goals. But, I don't know. The thought of them bringing that fucking Gatling gun in the army again fucking fears me.
That's just it. They bring that regardless. It's not It's not anything that they're doing hunting law that's going to bring that out there. If the law decides one day that they are fucking done, it's happened so many times before, even when we weren't targeting fucking law. It happened 6 months ago. The law went with 3 different hunting parties, 2 different Gatling guns. Not for a specific group, but to get every fucking group out west.
They ain't gonna stop anytime soon. It's only gonna get worse before it gets better.
Do you think you'll even be alive when it gets better?
I won't be here when it gets better anymore. I don't think it's realistic with all of these new little gangs starting new big wars. I don't know.
I mean, I'll put it this way. If they're distracted with these new little wars, then their focus is split, usually.
I will most likely use the fact that the law goes out west to go to war, so I will sneak my way out to the east, steal whatever I can, and then once they come back out east to protect their precious little people, we go back out west. I'm gonna use it to my own advantage.
Where do you want to see the West in 5 years, North?
Look, I ain't gonna be in the West in 5 years. Tried my best to protect it over the last couple months while everyone has been disappearing. I've tried my best to keep the ways and the rules that I learned myself as I learned about the West. Tried to teach them to wherever I could. Done my part in giving the West a West. But, I don't know. It's impossible to do when there is 30 new people every day out west wanting to eat, drink, and food and have everything that there is very little of. It's tough to do when there's an idiot standing on top of the fucking saloon screaming that he is going to be the most famous gunslinger in the entire fucking West. Right next to the people dying and coughing of disease and the other people not having food. It's fucking stupid. That's what I hate about all the idiots that come. I'd rather have them in Valentine so I don't have to talk to them. When you ask me how it's gonna be in 5 years, I have no darn control about how it's gonna be in 5 years. If I wanted it to look like something in 5 years, it would be exactly how it is today. And that's not realistic, and I know it.
There's 2 fixes to that, North. One, the civilians can help bring that food out there that aren't the fucking outlaws standing on roofs trying to be famous. And 2, when you see someone on a roof yelling about how they want to be fucking famous, you push them off that fucking roof, you wrap a rope around their fucking neck, and you drag them behind their horse until they realize the only way they're going to be famous is by one of us killing them, because that's the only way they're going to make a fucking name in this place. That's what we need to do to the West. We get the civilians to bring the food out there while we do what's right, what we do to keep those fucking idiots out of Armadillo, ruining the fucking place. That's what we're there for. And those idiots aren't just fucking people trying to be famous. It's fucking law going out there where they shouldn't be, doing things they shouldn't be doing.
See your point. As long as it's stable civilians bringing out the food and whatever carts we need to get the people to survive and have food and medical supplies, I can get behind that. I mean, to be fucking fair, I supported CC the entire way. But the only reason that I've done that is because I think CC has control. CC is extremely smart, knows what they're doing. So I will always believe that CC will take all of the idiots and make sure they don't come back or they teach them the right ways. You won't have me pushing out the civilians. Fair enough, if there's another idiot on the roof, I'm not gonna be so nice about it. Just get them back out where they belong, which is Valentine. And then when it comes to law, and they want my people, I'll tell them honestly they can either fuck off or get shot. But hunting law ain't my thing. Hunting law is only gonna lose me money and not make me anything. I tell you, there's definitely some of these law fucks that I would really want to shoot in the face. In the end, the only one that's gonna get fucked by it is me getting put in solitary again. I don't want to be there.
Hunting laws. It's a fool's game. I've been there. They're the most replaceable gang in the crossing. You kill 5, 6 more show up. You kill 6, 10 more show up. They kill 6 of us in my outfit. That outfit dies. It becomes a different name under a different leader. That's the difference between us and the law. North, we're not as easily replaced as they are.
These laws sometimes have the best people. Because they hear stories all over the world about the great and dangerous Wild West. They come out here just to make a name for themselves and kill some of these dangerous criminals like ourselves. Or capture. But I know they want to kill us. They're not gonna stop coming. They're gonna keep coming the entire time. I actually have a little thought for the future. What if we would be able to train some deputies like Bill? Imagine having only Bill kind of deputies there. They make sure nobody's fighting, they make sure it's calm, but they won't hunt us down. That I could see working. 6 bills. Big balls bill, medium balls bill, small balls bill, no balls bill, 1 ball bill, and I fucking need one more name.
Let me know, North, if you're alive long enough to see that day. Keep fucking dreaming. Oh, clearly they've smacked you a little too hard.
Fuck you. Was this an ID, man? I don't need them all to be named Bill. They can have different names.
Billy Bob Bill.
Billy Bob Bill.
Billy Ball Bill.
Law are gonna keep coming regardless, right? I think we do what we do without a thought of the law at the time. It's just inevitability that they're gonna come.
I agree with North in a way. Sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
What were you saying?
I was saying that the law are going to come anyway, so we do what we do regardless, right? You make a decision to rob a bank, you ain't thinking, well, the law are going to come. You know they're going to come.
Yeah.
Do it anyway. No, you ain't going to stop it. You ain't going to change it.
North is right to a degree. Being handled by Negan, Sullivan, Bill, Coyote, all the deputies that operate out of the West, they handle things a lot more different. They won't shoot up the town involving folk that don't need to be involved. They'll sit and have an honest talk with you. In fact, one of the times I got arrested, we went up to the fort, sat down at a table, and we had a whiskey. It was Coyote and Bill. And we were able to talk about charges, and if I was going to draw my pistol, I set my guns on the table and put my hands behind my back for them. They handcuffed me, but to be fair, Dead End Gang ended up breaking me out of that situation. And I went with them. But there's ways of handling it that's not fucking the way that certain lawmen like to do it. If I had a lawman that approached me like a fucking human being, it would go a lot differently. But that's the thing is, most of these lawmen, when you're not wanted, they'll talk to you with respect. But when you're wanted, you're now an animal. And they lose all fucking their humanity and everything. And then there's deputies that will sit on one side of the cell while you're on the other and talk a lot of fucking shit because of where you are and what you're behind. Or why you're cuffed. And then you run into them on the outside of those fucking walls and they talk to you with respect. It's fucking funny the way some deputies operate.
But see, right.
Well, yeah, but the Western deputies, Pop, Coyote, Bill, Negan, they give you the straight arrow every time. They're going to talk to you the same on one side of the cell as they will on the other. That goes a lot more down that road than others.
I agree with you. Conversation goes a long way for people that just need to be spoken to. Sure, it's, I know I'm a bad man. I know I've done bad shit. Don't mean I can't be treated with respect, you know. I've been where you're talking about. I've been spat on from the other side of the cells, and I've also been very well looked after. It's all just a game of just back and forward. They get the confidence when you're behind the cells. They lose it when you're on the outside. They stand there and believe they can right your wrongs and change you and bring you in. You know, but you see it and you look at them and they got fear in their eyes, knowing that I'm on the outside now. Your cells ain't gonna contain me. Just luck of the draw. Like you say, you might get a coyote and never met this man, but Bill I have plenty of times. Conversation goes a long way. It just seems that deputies don't want to do too much talking. And when they do, they break their word. Right, North?
Fuckers.
3 times in a week, they all broke their word. We'll come and talk to you. There'll be no violence. We won't bring you in. I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
Violence here in Tumbleweed, you can leave. Oh, but now you're in Armadillo, so that word's changed. Not 5 minutes later.
Yeah, I'll say this, Zip, whenever these fuckers break their words, that really pisses me off. I like the deputies, they keep their darn words. But then you have the fuckers that break it. Right after sending a telegram, they just wanted to talk. Then they come with 6 deputies and start shooting you. Yeah, that one we fucked up real bad.
You know the last time I turned myself in, you know why it was the last time I'd ever do that?
Well, why is that?
I was told that I would get 350 dice if I turned myself in. So I'd do it the second I got behind that cell. The 3 deputies there, they started laughing their asses off. I was confused. I didn't say anything. Thought maybe they said something and walked in. They were laughing because it was a ruse to get me in the cell. I ended up getting charged with 930 days.
Jesus Christ.
They knew the time I was looking at, they just wanted me to come and turn myself in.
Jesus.
By tempting me with 300 days instead of 900.
They'll sweet talk you, and then they'll lead you right into the lion's mouth. But
I'm like you, in a way. I know what I've done, and I know I don't deserve sympathy, especially from the law. When I left the Kettleman gang, a lot of people don't know this, but Jack, every time I want to go hunt a lawman, Jack would tell me not to. That that's not what we do. They're doing their jobs, we're doing ours. They're gonna come hunt us because we do wrong. I'd get so angry at some of the things the law would say and grab my revolver, and Jack would convince me to take my hand off of it and focus on the war that we were in or the job that we were planning. So when I left the Kettleman gang, I went after the law. I built a hot box in the west, and I threw deputies in there. I kidnapped the fucking shit ton. Moral of the story is I got 3,500 days that I racked up in about 18 hours.
Jesus Christ. Fuck, man. That's a lot of years.
I had kidnapped, tortured over dozens of lawmen. I had shot down probably 3 dozen, doing bank jobs, gunning them down. Different shit. I'd go rob someone, law would show up, I'd take them somewhere, ambush them, gun them down. Most of this shit I did by myself. Some of it I had Jabas there, some of it I had Abigail there. I saw how quickly it got me sent here, and more than half of that sentence I spent in the hot box for what I did to the deputies that I put in the hot box that I built. The day I got brought in here, Big L and Booker were standing waiting for me, and Big L pretty much told me that the next deputy I target, I'm getting the noose.
Well, did you?
I don't really target a deputy for them being a deputy. See, I went anti-law real quick. Didn't matter who was wearing the badge, I targeted them. That was the last time I actually did that. Most of the time, if I have a problem with the deputy, I just walk away. Knowing that me shooting them is not worth me hanging on that fucking gallows. Last deputy I went after what landed me in here was Zoe Winters, but it wasn't about Zoe. It wasn't about her as a lawman. It was about Zoe. It was about Rufus. It wasn't because they were law. It was because of what they did to me, which was a fool's errand. I see that now, but I didn't then. It's a very slippery slope when you target a badge for them wearing a badge. For me, they have to earn that noose. When I get out of here, I'm going after Pruitt.
A duel?
A lawman named Pruitt.
Pruitt. I heard him.
Even if you did, you'd probably forgot about him. He's a real forgettable person. He decided to be like an outlaw and fan his hammer.
You're kind of cutting off, Zip.
Yeah, I figured that was a problem. I'll be right back. I need to take a nap.
Okay.
I saw the push to
But it
talk
was,
acting up.
just dramatic silences.
Huh. Alright. Chat, I'll be right back. I have to restart my computer.